The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Up, microphones up. Just plugging in the computers, guys. Let's be honest. My neck is feeling stiff, but is much better after the unmitigated disaster of last night's show. I blame you, dear listener. We're taking calls. Get your calls in now. 0344 499 1000.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold. A brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we've paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow, I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roll.
There we go, right. 0344 499 1000. We're going to try a new thing tonight. It's brand new. It's never been done before, so fingers crossed it will work. We are going to open... We've got a phone line here, phone system, phone number you can call. We are going to open the phone line, and you can call in. And what are you going to talk about? I've got absolutely no idea. This has never been done before. It is a first, and we're just going to go with it. And we're going to see what happens. My name is Iain Lee. This is my female pal, Catherine. And the phone number is, I've got it written down on a bit of paper somewhere, 0344 499 1000. 0344 499 1000. And straight away, we got one of those people that we stopped taking phone calls for. Let's go to him. Good evening, Wasim.
Good evening, Ian. Yeah.
Piece of work, aren't you?
Really?
Yeah, no, I thought you were just a bumbling idiot, but after seeing you on Twitter, yeah, you're a nasty piece of work. I got your number, Sunshine, and you're a thoroughly unpleasant gentleman.
Seriously?
He's gone. There we go. He's gone. He was on Twitter, and let's call him back. He was. Sorry, he was a thoroughly unpleasant, nasty piece of work, and it was so nasty. I didn't think it was him. Hey, Wasim, we seem to have got cut off there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay. So, go on.
Nah, I was doing that. I wanted to ask you how your neck was.
It's getting better, Wasim. How's your attitude?
My attitude's fine, mate.
No, it's not. It's not. I got your number now, Sunshine. I got your number.
All I said to you, Ian, was, why did you put a clip on YouTube? I didn't swear at you.
No, that's not what you said. You don't have to swear to be nasty, by the way.
Argument.
Yeah, no, that's not what you said. I can't remember because I blocked you. I haven't done a block so quick. But no, that's not what you said. That's not what you said.
That is what I said.
I haven't got it in front of me, Wasim. I don't spend significant amounts of my time dwelling on you. But I know that what you've just said to me wasn't what you said.
That is what I said to you, mate. I said to you that you lost the argument when you got to put my clip on YouTube.
Okay, it wasn't quite that. Anyway, first of all, I don't put the clips on YouTube. A young gentleman who I employ called Matthew Stevenson does it. Secondly, me putting a clip on someone putting a clip on my YouTube channel, The Rabbit Hole, doesn't in any way mean I lost an argument. And thirdly, why have you got to be so combative?
I'm not combative, mate.
No, you are. You're contrarian, you're combative, and not in a fun, nice way, in a very unpleasant, very dark way, Wasim.
It's not dark, mate. I just said to you...
No, you're dark. You've got a dark soul, and I feel sorry for you, man. I feel really sorry for you.
Oh, really, do you? Okay, mate, no problem. What can I say to that?
Say whatever you want to say. You're no puppet.
Nah, I'm not gonna abuse you, mate. Seriously. There's no point.
There's no point in abusing me?
Yeah, loads of people have been nasty to you online, to be fair.
Don't worry, it'll come via email or tweets later on. But Wasim, you've said that before, and yet it always does.
No, it definitely won't.
Okay, fine.
I'm not combative, by the way. I haven't got a dark soul.
Well, hang on a minute. There's an oxymoron. I'm not combative, he said, in an argumentative way.
It's not very nice of you now, is it?
I don't like you.
Okay, I got it.
Thanks very much indeed. Yes, Zach, what do you want?
I just want to say how much people are just being idiots on Twitter, and it's just like, why do people have to make just because of one little thing somebody says, it just makes so many other things.
What?
It's just so annoying.
Okay. Great, that's great. Thanks very much indeed. I remember exactly why I stopped taking calls. Let's go to Gatford. Good evening, Gatford.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Welcome to the show, Gatford. Welcome to the show.
I've tweeted you before and seen you on Facebook, but never had the chance to talk to you. It's such a fantastic thing.
Wonderful times. Wonderful times.
Yeah, wonderful times. Just wonder, I've not been listening to the show for a couple of weeks. Been a bit busy. Just anything I need to catch up on?
No, not really. It's been pretty straightforward. I love the fact, for those wondering, right, that camera isn't even focused on me. Can you shift that camera around so it's actually on me? For those wondering, if you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/rabbithole, but you want to get go back a bit so you've got the T, so you've got the edge of the box on Talk Radio. So move it back, just split the difference from how it was. Split the difference. Messing with, there we go, perfect. Perfect. Now you buggered it. There's new cameras here and they're all over the place. For those watching and wondering, the neck brace has come off. And for the people who write for the Daily Mirror online,
for the doctors,
doesn't mean in any way it's fake. It simply means that, I'm getting better. That's all it means, guys. That's all it means.
What are you doing with the neck brace?
You don't need to know. You don't need to know. So what have you got for us, Gatford?
Okay. Well, I just wondered, weather's getting a bit better. What are your plans for the weekend, Ian?
Here's the thing, right? This is weird. And I showed this to Catherine earlier on. I was thinking of taking the boys to the pictures on Friday, right? It's Easter holiday, right?
Yeah.
And there are 3 cinemas near them. Slough, Maidenhead and Henley, and then there's one a little bit further out in Bracknell, right? Not Bracknell, maybe Bracknell, I don't know. And, all of the cinemas, can people tell me, this is the first phone in, 0344 499 1000. Is this countrywide? Okay. Because all of those cinemas, they're multiplexes, right? All of those cinemas, today, showing loads of films. About 10 films. Tomorrow, they're all showing about 10 films. Friday, they're either showing no films or one film, right? That's all three cinemas. They're different chains. This is during the Easter. What the hell is going on? Is it, Kath said to me, is it because it's Ramadan? Ramadan.
Is this even on?
I don't know. Is it on?
It's really quiet.
It does sound quiet.
I can hear you.
Is it?
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds quiet.
Is it turned on?
Is it
Katie
turned on?
there?
Yeah, go and have a look, because that doesn't sound. Is it because
on Friday? It was on Friday they announced the new films? Don't they I mean, that wouldn't make sense as to why there's no.
No, well, no, but then surely they would know. It's not like a surprise on Friday morning. The cinema gets an email. Going, right, okay, well, these are the films that we're going to be sending you out today, and here's the Dropbox so you can download it.
I mean, maybe the staff just have their training day on a Friday.
Yeah, well, but I mean, I need to know. Hang on, Catherine, talking to that microphone.
Testing. It's a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah, that's better.
Ooh, yeah.
What I need to know, is this a nationwide phenomenon? And what the hell is going on? So that's Friday. Saturday, I'm taking the kids to see a play somewhere. And on Sunday... No, do you notice... Here's the thing. Do you notice now I can't actually say where I'm taking the kids to see a play in case I get papped. Me and Catherine, right? Well, honestly, this is the weirdest thing, Gatford. There are shots of me and Catherine yesterday coming out of the Waitrose, in the Waitrose, buying groceries, coming out of the Waitrose and walking back to work. The Waitrose is about 2 minutes walk away from here, right? And I wasn't wearing the neck brace because I can't wear it all the time. And when I'm walking, actually, it's quite healthy for me to take it off. I'm not wearing it now. I had to wear it for the show yesterday because of the high impact stress. And the Mirror online and the Mail online, they've got a pap shot of me through the window of the Waitrose paying, right? Then me coming out of the Waitrose. And then me and Kath, from the front, walking to work. And we did not see anybody. We didn't see anybody with a camera.
They make it their job so that you don't see them.
Yeah, but do you know what? I'd love to know the story of that picture. Were they waiting for us? Because we haven't been out to Waitrose for a couple of days, have we? We've been getting takeaways delivered.
Do you think someone tipped them off?
I don't know.
Like you used to get in Heat magazine, like spotted.
I'm so lucky that I finished my spliff before I went into Waitrose, and I'm lucky as well it was Waitrose and not Tesco's or Lidl, because that really would have done the image. Would have done the image no good whatsoever. And then Sunday, I'm thinking of making a brand new television show from my luxury apartment.
Oh.
Yeah, I am. On Sunday, because on Sunday I've got a choice. I can either get really, really high and wrecked on drugs and booze, or I can be creative and try and make a new TV show from my luxury apartment. So I've chosen...
You just said that on the radio, though, so someone might hear that.
No, they'll only hear it if I tweet it. So I have chosen, instead of getting absolutely off my gourd on drugs and booze, to instead try and make a brand new TV show in my luxury apartment. That's what I'm planning to do.
Well, that sounds like a fun-packed weekend.
That is my plan. Why? What are you doing, Gatford?
Not a lot. Hold on. I've just looked your name up on the Mirror. You fell down a well.
Thanks very much indeed for calling. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, and my female pal on Talk Radio.
Experience the unconventional.
Hello.
The unpredictable.
Don't you think that's a bit weird?
And the completely unorthodox.
It was my birthday.
With rule-free Iain Lee.
I was just trying to generate a bit of content.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Hate alarm clock. Hate going to work.
On Talk Radio.
Content? What the hell is that? What the hell is that rubbish? Good evening to listener. This is the Late Night Alternative with me, Iain Lee, on Talk Radio. We're trying something new and bold tonight. The phone lines are open. And what that means is, for the first time ever in, certainly in British radio, and I'm going to put my slightly stiff neck on the line and say anywhere in the world, we are going to be a radio show where you, the listener, you kind of dictate which direction it goes, because you can phone up, come on the air and have your say about any of the issues of the day. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. That's the number that Jack's called. Good evening, Jack.
Bonjour, mate. How's it going?
It's going very, very horny, Jack. It's gone really horny in here.
You're really horny right now.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I'm growing a horn.
Oh,
That'll be the next.
Stop that.
No. I mean, on my head. That's going to be the next story we sell to the papers. I'm growing a horn on my head. Jack, what you got for us tonight on this night of nights?
Well, I can talk about anything within reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Even without reason.
Whoa, that sounds exciting.
You talk about anything you want, man.
I spent the day doing my favourite pastime, which is battling feminists on Twitter.
Okay.
And
battling or backing?
I'm not battling. Yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could say backing. I really wish I could.
Okay. Why don't you back women?
I do. Right, I do. I believe in equality, and I just wish that everyone can realise that we're all human beings after all.
Right.
You take away the skin colour, you take away the gender, we're all human.
God, that would be freaky, though, wouldn't it? Just like sort of grey, smooth action men type figures. Or action women.
Can I ask a question?
Or really, we're just all just gelatinous cubes.
Can I ask a quick research
Of course
question?
you can ask a question.
Jack, are you a white man?
I am, unfortunately. Okay. Apologies in advance.
No, you don't have to apologise.
Okay, so tell us what you did, Jack, before we all, while we're all constantly judging you. Go on.
Well, I put the hashtag gender pay gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since deleted the tweet because I got a hell of a lot of abuse from it.
Okay. So, abuse on Twitter? Wow, that's unprecedented.
I know, it's the first.
Yes.
To be totally honest, I don't really use Twitter that much. I don't tend to get online abuse, and it did freak me out a little bit. I was new to this whole online abuse thing, and I thought, blimey. So I put the hashtag gender pay gap, and I put, can we please discuss this? Because I'm a little uneducated.
Okay.
And then I put underneath, I feel that the data released by companies, I put this in multiple tweets, just because obviously it's a long thing. I put that I believe that the data shown by companies doesn't delve into the reasons as to why women are paid less than men, and I feel it could be due to choices that women make in life in the modern times.
Go on.
Choices.
Hang on. Let's hear this out. Go on. For example.
That's what I put, right?
Right. But what do you mean by that? Because now we're not on Twitter. We can use more than 280 characters. So what do you mean by that?
Well, I from the reading that I've done, and I'm not going to claim that I'm educated on this, which is why I kind of want to be educated, really.
Yeah. You're going to get schooled. Don't you worry about that. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
So obviously, let's say women have had a bad time. That's a bloody understatement, isn't it? And it's terrible. I believe that in modern times, though, at least the countless amounts of women that I know have never been truly actively vocal about their struggles in the workplace, if any. And I feel like the cases that I hear about, be it on the news or the internet, seem to be isolated cases, albeit a lot of issues.
Hang on, we're going off and think. I want you to explain exactly what you meant by the choices that you stated in the tweet.
Yes.
So focus on that.
Yes, well, okay, sorry, mate. So basically, after reading up online about the choices women make in life, it seems to say that studies show that women go for jobs in the lower paying fields, right?
So you're saying that women are going for jobs in lower paid field. That's their choice.
Well, at the end of the day,
I'm really going to focus on this because you're wishy-washing all over the place. You mentioned choices, and we've still not got what those choices are. Are you saying one of the choices that women make is to go into lower paid fields?
I would say that is potentially one of the choices. I'm not saying...
Yes, hang on a minute. Let's focus on this. Yes or no? Are you saying that one of the choices that women make, when you talked about their choices being part of the reason for the gender pay gap, one of their choices is they go into lower paid fields? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Right. In those lower paid fields, are the women earning the same as the men?
I have no reason to believe that in Britain that they wouldn't be.
Right. Okay. Well, then you've misunderstood. No, Jack. Then you've misunderstood what the gender pay gap is.
Okay.
What the gender pay gap is What it means is that men and women doing the same job, whether it be in a lower paid field or a higher paid, but men and women doing the same job, women tend to get paid less. That's what the gender pay gap is. It isn't that women are doing lower paid work and men are doing higher paid work, but lower paid fields and high paid fields. What it means is men and women doing exactly the same job with exactly the same qualifications and exactly the same backgrounds as, but women get paid less. That's what it means.
Can I give an illustration?
Please do.
Okay. So this is my first job, having done a degree and a postgraduate diploma, which nowadays is equal to a master's. This was in 2000, so not that long ago, but long enough. It's still recent, right?
Yeah.
So me and a male who'd done the same qualification, our very first job in journalism, we both got the same job. We both got... there were two of the same job going. I found out after a month that he was on £1,000 more than me.
My blimey.
That's how it started.
That's the gender pay gap. That's what it means.
And it wasn't that he negotiated, that was what we were given. And we only found out by accident because he said to me, how much are you taking away at the end of the month? And I told him, he went, well, hang on a minute. And it was on, I was on 11 grand, he was on 12. Our very first job.
So that's what the gender pay gap means.
And if it starts that way, how are you supposed to progress?
So it would appear that your basic premise, you've misunderstood what the gender pay gap is.
Yeah, I mean, for that particular point, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so the gender pay gap is men and women doing the same jobs and women getting paid less. That's what the gender pay gap is. And you have a problem with that. Why?
I don't have a problem. Well, I have a problem if they're getting paid less.
Right. Okay. Well, that's what the gender pay gap is. So why were you trolling women online today?
I wasn't trolling them. I literally made a tweet asking for someone to explain it to me because I didn't understand it.
Or you could have Googled it. You could have Googled it.
Oh, mate. I mean, I'm not the quickest person in the world. I've Googled a countless amount of articles and had a read through today, and I've had a read through since the whole thing really came out in the last few years, and I'm trying to wrap my head around it and ask as many questions as possible in which to understand it. I happily admit that I'm ignorant to it, but I think the problem is when you say something you don't like or people don't like online, even if you're being transparent and trying to learn.
No, but you weren't. No, you weren't, Jack. With respect, you weren't. You were trolling them because you could have Googled, as I have just done, what does the gender pay gap mean? And it comes up. It comes up, and it says what we've just said. So you going on there and kind of, and listen, I'm all up. I love winding people up for sport and arguing and stuff like that. But I admit that it is a sport to me. Doing it without that acceptance and without saying, this is why I'm doing it is trolling. So or maybe you were just dumb and you misunderstood the premise and you misunderstood the answers that you were getting.
Well, I think part of me looks at things like Ryanair's statistics. So 78%,
right?
78% of the gap in Ryanair. And then
would you mean 70? I don't know. I haven't got these figures. What do you mean 78% of the gap? What does that mean?
The gender disparity, the pay gap in Ryanair is 78%, I believe.
What does that mean? That men earn 78% more than women?
More than women, yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And a lot of people today, also on Twitter, have been blasting Ryanair and saying how disgusting it is and how Ryanair needs to close the gap now. And I'm thinking, how can Ryanair close that gap when the majority of cabin crew are female and the majority of pilots are male?
Right, no. But right, okay, I've got it here. Ryanair has revealed a gender pay gap of 72%, the worst in the airline industry. Median hourly, but you wouldn't be paying an air steward or stewardess the same as you'd be paying a pilot.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, exactly. Pilots would earn more. But you would, and I've just got these figures up here now. So, there we go. Only 8 of Ryanair's 554 UK-based pilots are female, while women make up more than 2/3 of the low-paid cabin crew. Okay, so I don't quite know what this disparity is, because I've got this story in front of me. I don't know whether it's but let's assume it's between a female pilot and a male pilot to start with. Then we'll get onto the stewards and stewardesses, right? Then it would be easy to bridge that disparity, wouldn't it? You either pay the women the same as the men straight away, or you keep the men where they are, or you bring the men down a little bit and the women up quite a bit until they're equal. All you have to do, though, is pay the women the same as you pay the men if they've had the same experience, the same training, if they're doing the same job, yeah?
Of course, yeah.
Right. And the same with the stewards and the stewardesses. If the male stewards are doing exactly the same job as I'm probably using the wrong terms. I don't know what the correct term is.
Cabin crew.
Cabin crew, thank you. But if the male cabin crew are doing the same job as the female cabin crew, well, then you just pay them the same. What's the problem?
I think that figure, the 72%, is taking into account the pay that the females get for being cabin crew members against the pilots, the male pilots.
I would be surprised if it is. I would be surprised if it is. Median hourly pay among Ryanair's 1,182 UK staff. No, it's not. Median hourly pay among Ryanair's 1,182 UK staff is 72% lower for women, while median bonus pay for women was 3% lower. With most of Ryanair's management and administration based in Ireland and excluded from the figures, more than 95% of the firm's UK-based staff are pilots or cabin crew. So they haven't got enough women flying aeroplanes. There should be more women flying aeroplanes because women can fly aeroplanes. And
of course,
the cabin crew aren't being paid the same as the men. It's not comparing the female cabin crew with the male pilots. It's not doing that.
The 70. I mean, I definitely hear what you're saying, but the 72% is obviously a massive number. So when you think about it, how can the number be that high? If they were comparing male pilots,
no, because hang on a minute, Catherine is a woman. You have ovaries.
You're assuming that we're just talking about people on planes. They've got it's a huge company with offices,
of course,
and administration staff. So why are we just thinking about stewardesses and pilots? I think that actually it's a bigger thing, and what we're talking about is mainly admin staff.
The pilot.
No, it's not. It's not actually. Hang on a minute. It's not. Most of Ryanair's management administration is based in Ireland and are excluded from the figures. More than 95% of the firm's UK-based staff are pilots or cabin crew. I don't. You're basically, Jack. You're misunderstanding the figures.
So, but that's the interesting.
The median hourly pay rate is that men are earning a lot more than the women, and they shouldn't be, should they?
No, of course not.
Right. Okay. So what's the problem?
Obviously,
what's the problem with what's the problem?
Because I feel that these figures, like 72%, right? If we're talking about pilots and cabin crew here, included in this 72%, right? That is not. That is the difference between the pilot's wages and the cabin crew's wages. Ian, if you look at 72%. Okay, well you're throwing this at me, and I've not seen this. So you've got better. You know better. You've seen the figures more than me. Well, but let's talk about equal. But let's not talk about the gender pay gap then. Let's talk about equal pay, which is a slightly different thing. Why shouldn't women be paid the same as men? Of course they should be.
Okay, so then why would you go online? Why would you go online and be mean and just troll people about this? Okay,
I'll explain. I didn't. I wasn't mean. Because at the end of the day, I'll be honest with you, mate. I've spent the last year and a bit not working. And I'm suffering from,
Okay, so why go online and just wind people up?
Well, I'm not.
Well, no, you are. You are. And let me just clarify. Let me clarify one thing, because someone's pointed out that this is where it does get confusing. Gender pay gap and pay equality, they're different things. So let me just quickly read this. So it does include the pilots, right? So the gender pay gap is the difference between the average hourly earnings of men and women across all roles. Okay, that's what the gender pay gap is. And equal pay would be paying people equally for doing the same job. So there is a slight. It gets very complicated, even for a intellectual like myself. But why would you go online and stoke these fires? Why not go online and post links to Beatles songs or videos of cats dressed as Darth Vader? Well, why go on and stir up a group that already feels, to a certain extent, victimised and put upon? When we do come from a place of privilege, white males, we got, I know some of us, we have it tough to a certain extent, but compared to nearly every other group, we're having the time of our lives, man.
I'll be honest with you. I like the way you talk to people. And and that's why I called up, because I knew that, having a conversation with you, you could put things into perspective. Because I'm not going to sit here and wax lyrical about my own life. I'm a creative person. I'm not the smartest tool in the box, though. Never have been.
Oh God, I am. I'm very smart. I'm razor sharp. I am razor sharp. I'm always prepared to learn.
Well, that's the thing. I'm very slow, right? I do have a disability, and I do have a learning disability, and I don't like going, I've learned.
So what? So what? So what? I fell down a well. What's that got to do with anything? What has that got to do with anything?
What I'm saying is, I'm very slow at picking things up at times. Right. So what I find it easier to do is talk to people and have people explain. But Twitter
is not the forum to explore and explain quite complicated things, and learning difficulty out the window. You knew that, and you knew that what you were posting would get people angry. And as soon as you got the first angry thing back, you could have either apologised or you could have come offline. And instead, I'm guessing, no, I bet you didn't. I bet you carried on poking it for a little bit.
I didn't, mate. What happened was, like I said to you, I posted in multiple tweets that I read this and I wanted to basically know if it was true. I'd like to ask people to discuss it, to educate me on the subject matter.
Yeah, but Twitter's not the place to do that. Twitter is not a place for great thinking and great learning.
Well, you know what, mate? Lesson learned. I've learned my lesson.
There you go. Well done.
That's the thing. Twitter's not the place for it, but the amount of stuff that goes on Twitter is quite worrying. And
no, it's not. It's not worrying. What's worrying?
Worrying.
Well, no, it's not. It's not worrying. It's only worrying if you let it worry you.
Okay, you're saying that it's not the place to have these discussions, but that's where the majority of these discussions happen a lot of the time.
Well, but they're flawed. Those discussions. Well, no, whether they're that's where the majority of them happen. A, I don't think it is where the majority of these discussions happen. And B, just because everyone else is doing it, don't make it right. You're looking. It sounds to me, Jack, I've got no idea why you mentioned learning difficulty at all. I've got absolutely no idea why that came up. I think that's a MacGuffin, and I think you should put that back in your pocket, because that's got nothing to do with this whatsoever, right? It sounds to me you're looking for a reason to be indignant. And you'll say, no, you're not.
Why would I do that?
Well, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. That's something you'll have to have a long, hard think about. But it sounds to me that you are looking for a reason to be indignant. And boy, oh boy, you found one, because all of these feminists, as you labelled them, I don't know, maybe they were just human beings, I don't know. But all of these feminists were attacking you online for not understanding something that is quite complicated, and I was a little bit woolly at the start of this conversation, but simple Google would have explained it to you, and it sounds like you wanted to be indignant.
When you Googled the Ryanair figures, I had to tell you that it included the pilot's wages. And
yes, because I don't know if you noticed, Jack, I don't know if you noticed, I'm a little bit busy doing a radio show, and I'm talking to you, and it's a bit trickier for me to Google things, but but I clicked a link within the Ryanair story, because it then clarified equal pay and gender pay gap. So it was 2 clicks. It took me, Jack. So don't get smart with me, sunshine. It took me 2 clicks whilst I'm having a conversation and I'm presenting a radio show and I'm monitoring Twitter and I'm looking at all the phone calls that are getting racked up. So I was able to do it. So why did you go online just to wind people up? Or to wind yourself up? Maybe that was it. Maybe it was to wind yourself up.
I think we have to establish the fact that if, on face value, you're saying that I did it to wind people up. No, not on face value. No,
that's what I'm saying. You did it to either wind people up or to get yourself wound up. It was one of those 2 things.
But how can it be only those 2 things? I mean, what you're basically suggesting, in terms of simple psychology, what you're suggesting is that I mean, you don't know me, so I'm not going to, obviously.
I know you better than you know yourself, I think, Jack, at the moment. And you must be an idiot to think you can go online and not put out something as incendiary as you did and expect, with the hashtag, so drawing attention to it, and then not expect to get a load of flack back. Twitter is full of arseholes. People give you flack. You knew that before, right? That's not the great learning thing you've had today. You didn't know that people could give you flack on Twitter.
Oh, mate, I know people could give you flack, but I didn't expect it. So, I mean...
Right, well, then you're an idiot.
Well, it depends how you define the word idiot. I mean...
I define the word idiot as someone who doesn't know that if you put out something incendiary on a social media platform that you will get flack from people. That is an idiot.
What was incendiary about it? Can I ask? What do you personally feel that was incendiary?
Tell me what you said. What's your Twitter feed? Let's go.
I'm not giving you my Twitter. I'm not going to be like, I've had a bad enough day.
What's your Twitter feed? Why won't you let me see what you tweeted? Go on, what's your handle?
Because I've deleted the tweet.
Well, okay, then.
1:00 this afternoon. I can tell you what it said.
No, I know, because here's the thing I've learned. And Wasim at the start of the show was a great example of this, right?
Oh, Wasim, he was a bloody classic already, wasn't he?
Well, don't, because we're having a conversation now, and there are people saying exactly the same about you. When people quote, in inverted commas, their tweets to me, they always miss out just a key word, or they rephrase things. They always do. No one has ever quoted a tweet to me they've sent accurately. And just one word, one bit of punctuation can totally change the meaning. So no, I don't want you to tell me what you said, because I won't believe you.
That's fair enough.
Jack, lesson learned.
Yeah, no, thanks very much.
You're very welcome. 03444991000 is the telephone number. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Moonlit musings from mums, madams, and meat packers.
Oh, never mind, I must have misheard.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
The station's brilliant.
On Talk Radio.
03444991000. We're trying a bold new thing. We are taking telephone calls to a radio station, and the switchboard is almost full. Let's go to Demarca. Good evening, Demarca.
It's Demarque. Hi, Ian. How are you?
It's what, Demarque?
Yeah, Demarque. Radio.
I like it, man. I'd not heard that name before. Apologies. Demarque. I'm fine, thank you, Demarque. What have you got for us?
So, it's a different take on the gender pay gap issue.
Okay.
So you know how certain radio stations, commercial radio stations, have a certain number of presenters that the majority are male and are female. It's the same with, let's take LBC, for example. The station is predominantly white, and it's only, let's say, one person of colour that is a presenter in there. And as a young black person who's heading into the media industry right now, I feel like radio stations should take on people that are creative, that are of different colours and backgrounds, because it's important to get, a different flavour. Like,
what's this got to do? Hang on a minute, Demarque. So this has got nothing to do with the gender pay gap?
No, it does, because
well, how?
I've seen for myself that within certain media companies, say the BBC.
Well, you say with all of them. Talk radio. I don't know if we have any people of colour Do we?
Yasmin?
Oh, Yasmin's on at the weekends now, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have but one. Yeah.
It might be more, hang on, let me think.
Okay, right, but what's this got to do with gender pay gap?
But the thing is, LBC is a big station. Talk Radio isn't a big station.
Well, no, but hang on a minute. Talk Radio is owned by a big company. It's owned by a bigger company than the one that owns LBC.
I wouldn't say that because Global are Europe's biggest media company. I've seen for myself Global are...
We're owned by News Corp. Well, listen, if you've got a problem with LBC, why don't you call LBC up and talk to them about it? I'm trying to make it relevant to this situation. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Hang on a minute, call him back. What's going on with people tonight? Got a problem with LBC. I hate to say it, but give those guys a call.
Is he playing his jingles?
Please leave a message after the tone.
If you'd like to change your message after you've left it, please press hash.
Where did you go, Demarque? Come back, man. I'm guessing your battery died. You're talking, it would appear, about the lack of people of colour on national broadcasters, okay? Well, that's different to gender pay gap. I'm happy to have that conversation, of course I am, but I think you are muddying the waters and doing neither side any favours by saying it's to do with the gender pay gap. It's not. But I don't know what happened, so give us a call back. Let's go to Annie. Good evening, Annie.
Hi, Ian. Hi, Kath.
Hello.
Hello. You know, I was going to, because I called up while Jack was on the line, and I was going to kind of continue that discussion, but you know, I'm not sure I can be bothered. It's just too flipping exhausting.
It's quite exhausting. I mean, you can do if you want. And apologies, everyone's now sending me, you misunderstood gender pay gap and equal pay. Yeah, all right. Listen, it's been a long old day. I'm on painkillers. I got my terms a little bit mixed up, but we got there in the end. So everyone can just naff off. You can if you want, or not if you want. I don't mind.
What I found, Annie, was I'm tired of explaining to people who've already made up their minds that it's a load of old balls, which is what it sounded like from Jack.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it. And I think, Ian, you hit the nail absolutely on the head with your comment earlier about people go onto Twitter because they want to be indignant about something.
Yeah.
They want to be angry, and they want to show everybody else how angry they are, but it's backed up by ignorance, and it just becomes exhausting to deal with it. So I found myself answering the same questions over and over again and you're right, people that don't actually want to know the answer, they just want to be angry about their version of what they think the answer is. And I think you can translate that into any topic, not just this one, into absolutely any topic.
Yeah. Oh, and to say, I didn't know that if I went on Twitter and put something vaguely contentious, I'd get a load of flack. Well, then you are an idiot, because everyone knows.
Yeah,
even my mum knows that.
Yeah.
That's what Twitter is there for. And boy, oh boy, I'm having some great old ding-dongs on Twitter at the moment, Annie. I am loving Twitter. I'm having the best of times on there. It's wonderful.
Yeah. It is, it's just, but if it's about topics that aren't that important, then it's fine. I'm like you, I'll go in there and poke the bear and see what happens. But over topics that are actually quite important and impact on people's lives in a big way, don't poke the bear. It's just, it's you're just annoying people for the sake of annoying people, and that's not.
If I go on,
different kind of thing, isn't it?
If I go on Twitter now and say, Paul Weller and the Jam, they were shit. The amount of flack I get, right? The amount of flack I would get, Annie. I would get so much flack. So then imagine going on and posting hashtag gender pay gap and I don't get what all the fuss is about. I mean, if you're getting so much flack for slagging off a crap band from the 70s, then wow.
Also, coming from someone who hasn't got any idea what it must be like, that's also rather galling. And I don't want to go on about privilege and stuff, but if you don't see that there might be a problem with it, that says to me that you've been living very comfortably. And you don't understand that some people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like having the person sit in the mansion saying, I don't know what all these poor people are moaning about. It's quite easy. It's that kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it just?
It
hey,
is.
are your cinemas showing films this weekend?
Yeah, I've got to be honest, I haven't looked.
Okay, because I think there's some conspiracy going on where they've just decided not to show movies. I don't know what's going on. Maybe there's no dollar to be made in the movie industry
I've
anymore.
just had a look online, actually,
Yeah.
and there's a little notice next on the website next to my cinema saying it's okay for everybody else, but just not Iain Lee.
There you go.
It's
You
just
see,
you.
I'm a cuck
It is a
snowflake.
conspiracy. It's just you.
Annie,
Yeah.
thank you very much indeed. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Sarah. Good evening, Sarah.
Hello.
Hello, Sarah.
Can I change the subject totally?
Of course you can. Yeah, sure. Why not? Why the hell not? Let's hold hands and run down the motorway naked. Let's do it, Sarah. Yes.
Oh no, I'm too wobbly for that.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Me too these days. Yeah.
Right.
The diet starts
Right.
tomorrow. It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle change. Don't
No,
forget, send me an
Monday.
email and join
Monday.
my mailing list on how to lose weight and still be a racist idiot. Anyway, Sarah. Yes.
Okay. Right. We got a puppy.
Ah.
No.
Oh.
No.
No.
I've had 2 kids. Okay.
Yes.
And the puppy is no.
No.
The kids are yes.
Ah.
Easy.
Yes.
The puppy is
Yeah,
no.
puppies are really, really hard work. Yeah, yeah. It's like having an
Yeah.
18-month-old for 15 years. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but it moves.
Yes.
It can move around.
Yes, they do. Their puppies do move around. They should make that clear on the packaging. Yes.
Yes, and you want to know what else it does?
What else does it do?
It eats its poop.
Yeah, they do. Puppies do eat their poop. Yep, they do. Yep, they do. They do.
Yes.
They do. That goes on for about a year.
A year?
Yeah. It's a year.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. So are you saying you're going to drown the puppy?
Oh no, come on.
Well, this is the vibe I'm getting from her. She's a very strange lady.
No, the puppy is strange. The puppy is strange.
I don't know if
I
you
don't-
or the puppy are strangest.
I don't know. Maybe the Clash.
Yes. The Clash.
I think the Clash. Yes.
Yes, The Clash. Another overrated band
no.
from the 70s.
Yes, they are. But
Yes.
I'm not. No, I'm not getting into that. No. But we have a puppy, and I strongly advise people to think very long and hard.
Well, yeah. Well, hang on a minute. Did you not think very long and hard about it? Well, you're an idiot. If the answer to that question is no, then you're an idiot. Of course you've got to think long and hard about it. It's not like buying a chair or a remote-controlled car. It's a living, breathing thing that eats its own poop and lives with you for 15 years.
I have a 14-year-old who said would look after said puppy.
Yeah, well then if you believe what a 14-year-old says, then you're even more of an idiot than I thought. Of course they don't. Of course they don't. They don't know what work is involved. You're the responsible adult, and you will be for the next 20 years.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Sarah. Thanks
Yes.
ever so much for calling. And wowzers. I mean, really, we're getting through them tonight, huh? Yes, Gavin.
How you doing, Ian?
I'm very well, Gavin. What have you got for us?
Happy returns. Yeah, I was thinking about, you steered me onto The Glass Wall by Imani Coppola. I didn't rate it, mate.
Okay, well, apologies.
That's all right, man. The next thing I wanted to say...
Hang on a minute. How could you not like Raindrops from the Sun?
No, I didn't dig it. I preferred...
Right, well, then that's one of the greatest pop songs of all time, so you're wrong. Could you...
No, mate, Aphrodite is a far better album.
Well, okay, well, you didn't say that. That's not what you said. You said you didn't rate it at all. Raindrops from the Sun, which is a song I play on this show quite a lot, is a magnificent pop masterpiece.
Is that, that's sort of track 1 or 2, isn't it? It's quite an uplifting...
Yes.
Yeah, all right, I'll agree with that. But the rest of it, I didn't feel it.
Okay.
But there we go. Right, so if you had a choice, would you be 6-string, 12-string,
How could you not like In a Room? How could you not like In a Room?
No, mate, no,
How could you not like it? No, I'm asking you, you know, In a Room. In a room.
No, I didn't.
You and I are naked in a room. Life is created.
There's too much vocoder on the whole thing. The previous albums...
There's hardly any vocoder on that album. You go to Hypocrites, there's vocoder, auto-tune.
The was full of vocoder. Hypocrites is a beautiful album.
Hypocrites is all auto-tune.
No, mate, you've got it...
No, mate. Hypocrites, I haven't got an out time. Hypocrites is all auto-tune because it's all about...
It around the wrong way, mate.
No,
the glass wall is all auto-tune.
No, it's not, mate, because she's a mate of mine. Hypocrites is all auto-tune because it's her frustration with technology in the modern world.
No, the glass wall is the one with the kids are dangerous, yeah?
I don't know. Yeah, yes, it is. Kids are dangerous. Ave Maria. But hypocrites is the one.
Auto-tune and vocoder. But...
No, it's not. It's not as much as hypocrites. Why are we even arguing about this? Hypocrites is the one that it's all vocoder.
No, hypocrites is clean.
No, it's not, mate. It's got FaceTime Continuum on. Yeah.
Oh, I've got it right next to me, man. I will tell you.
Yeah. No. Well, I know.
Yeah. But that's only one vocoder track.
No, it's okay. It's all vocoder. Anyway, we've got to go now because we're out of time.
Talk Radio. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yesterday was kind of like the 4th of July. The way your face lit up the entire sky. Had to look away because it hurt my eyes. The way you hit me was a big surprise. Yesterday I really didn't know what to say. I wasn't making any sense, but it felt okay. Asked you if it was my birthday. This kind of thing don't happen every day. Just like a child, a little curious, a little wild. Live in the moment and you'll never go out of style. You know it's really been a while. I didn't think an angel would get in my way. Let me tell you, yeah. Excuse me, won't you step aside? I don't got no room for you in my life. I don't got the patience to love again. Such a shameful crime. It's been a while since I let you go. Time don't let regrets go. Hey, 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 hey. I didn't think an angel get in my way. No, no, no. Hey, hey, hey. I didn't think an angel get in my way. Hey. So I gotta welcome angels, welcome angels, welcome angels, welcome angels,
I'm going to be releasing a best-of Imani Coppola in the summertime when I pull my finger out. That's what I'm going to be doing. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. We're doing a bold, brave new thing. We are taking phone calls, and you are welcome to call us about absolutely anything you want. Here's the thing. Honestly, I've been laughing so much the last few days. so much. And maybe one day we'll do a live show about why. But laughing so much, right? But here's the thing, right? So, we tried a bold new experiment, and we always say on this show, don't be afraid to fail, okay? I learn the most when I fail. When things are going well, I don't really learn anything. Very little, if anything at all. When I fail, that's when I learn the most. And we tried a bold new direction of a phone-in show by, I said first, a second after Julia Hartley-Brewer, a phone-in show without any phone calls. And I've got to be honest, I thought Monday's show was absolutely brilliant. I thought last night's show was hit and miss. But the hits were great, and the misses weren't that great. Misses weren't that pleased, eh? And then I came away, and I had a real hard think for about 7 minutes, and I blinked. I blinked first. And so I decided we were going to try a bold new direction today, and we're going to have phone calls again. Here's the thing, right? Loads of people... First of all, loads of people got in touch and said they love the shows. Honestly, I've got loads of emails and tweets saying, love the shows with just you and Kath. Really enjoyed the chat with George. Really enjoyed the bit about self-publishing. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. And a lot of those callers get on my tits. Right? Okay, fine, thank you. But loads of people, I mean loads of people, including people that have been listening, if not calling me, for about 8, 9, 10 years, got really, really angry. And didn't just get angry, they got mean. And they got nasty. And they started posting things all over Twitter, all over Facebook. I'm a big fan of Iain's, but this is painful listening. He's having a breakdown. I can't listen to this anymore. It's too sad. Wow. Wow, things changed for 2 shows? And you'd made the decision that you couldn't listen anymore?
Also, you've been listening for 8 years, but it would appear you're not hearing it properly.
Yeah. So for 2 years, and you can't listen anymore because for two nights it's slightly different. Ian needs calls. That's what he's famous for. What? I'm not. I'm famous for crying in the jungle and falling down a well. That's what I'm famous for.
Can I also interject?
Yes.
Do you think I would let you go on air and have a breakdown?
Yeah, I think you would. Like that man in that film.
Well, that kind of gets on my nerves as well. This idea that it's what.
But here's the thing.
I'm going to let you do that.
Here's the thing. So gone back to having calls. But now loads of people are going, yeah, these calls are going on too long. Where's Alan Caddick? These calls are going on too long. This is too dull. This is really hard listening. Since the neck brace and the physical injury, and he's not been the same. It's not been the same since. It's not been the same since. ... You fill in your own point when it changed. It's not been the same since he fell down the well. It's not been the same since. He went on Good Morning Britain. It's not been the same since he went on I'm a Celebrity. It's not been the same since he started on Talk Radio. It's not been the same since he left LBC. It's not been the same. Here's the thing, guys. The show is forever changing. The album Forever Changes. It's about this show. This show forever changes. This act forever changes. There was an important 3-letter word in there that some of you might have missed. Not saying it again. But it evolves and it changes. And Monday's show was one of the best shows we've done. Tonight's show, yes, tonight's show is an average show, but because you think you're hearing it differently, right? And that's your fault, and that's your problem. We're not doing it differently. You're hearing it differently. Al Dudley, I blocked Al Dudley. What did I block him for? Let me see. I blocked him for being a tit. I've got very low threshold for people on Twitter. Hang on a minute. Let's see what we blocked Al Dudley for. I don't. Blocked for writing this? Wow, touchy presenter or what? Oh, well, he's a listener down now. He can be nasty and condescending all night to callers, but he blocks as soon as he sees something he doesn't like. But yeah, I do, Al. I do, mate. And I won't lose you as a listener. You'll carry on listening. I block people on Twitter. It's my prerogative. I love it. Here's what makes me. Here's a list of things that make me laugh. People that tell me how to live my life. People that tell me how I should be using Twitter. People that get angry that I'm not using Twitter the way they think I should be using Twitter. People who tell me how I'm feeling. People who tell me what my radio show should be like. People who tell me what I should do to protect my mental health and my sanity. People who tell me that I shouldn't work too much. People who tell me I shouldn't be doing Good Morning Britain because I don't get enough sleep. People who stick their nose in and haven't got a clue. Mr. Dudley, you are one of those. Most people on Twitter, you haven't got a clue. Most people on Facebook and Facebook fan pages, you haven't got a clue. And now this, and now here's the funny thing, right? If I'd have said all this 6 months ago, it'd be fine. It'd be a little monologue at the top of the second hour on a show on a Wednesday. But now it will be taken as a sign that I'm at the end of my mental tether, that my sanity is hanging by a thread. I'm having the time of my life, guys. I'm having the time of my life. 0344 499 1000. We'll take the phone calls in a minute. This is Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
The radio show that knows truth is always stranger than fiction.
Week Monday, I get shoes.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee.
Because they're too real to be part of my imagination.
On Talk Radio.
I block people on Twitter, particularly people that support hate monger Tommy Robinson. So yeah, I've not got a problem with blocking you at all. So not at all. Let's see who we've got on the phones. Good evening, Paul.
Hello.
Hello, Paul.
Hello.
Yeah, Paul.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Paul. Hello.
Are you there?
Why don't you put the phone near your head?
It's on my head right now.
Okay.
Hello?
What do you want?
Hello? I'm not really sure. I just wanted to say that you're a big inspiration to me. Like, I don't know.
Paul, listen, man. I want to talk to you, brother, but I can't hear you.
Right.
Well, are you in the same room as the telephone?
Yeah, but I'm sort of Bluetoothing. Hold on.
Don't Bluetooth. Come on, let's go old school, man. Get that phone in your hands, put it up next to your head. Don't worry about the brain tumours.
I've got the phone in my hand.
There we go. We can hear you. We can hear you. What's going on for you, man?
You're a big inspiration for me. I just like the way you deal with life, and I'm struggling at the moment. And
go on, tell me why you're struggling.
Well, I don't know. I've got a dependency issue, sort of.
Yeah.
And it's not going well. I was sort of riding the crest of a wave. Thought everything was going hunky-dory, and then bang, I'm back down again. I'm back to square one, sort of thing. Like, it's, I don't know what to say, mate.
So what? Are you drunk or are you high at the moment? What is it?
Drunk.
Okay, right. And why? What made you have the first drink today?
Just a knot in my stomach. Just to change how I feel. Like,
yeah, that's it. You don't have to explain it any more than that. I get it, brother. It's just to change how you feel. I get it. It sucks, doesn't it?
But that's why, like, see, when I listen to you, like, you explain it so well, like the way you talk about like how you've dealt with it, I just wish I could get it. I just wish I could get it.
Well,
sorry.
what are you sorry for? Nothing to be sorry for. I'm trying. Here's the thing. I'm trying to be cautious about what I share and what I don't share because, you know, they're listening, man. They're listening. I got it for a while, and then I didn't get it for a while, and now I'm trying to get it back for a while. You know, everything isn't necessarily as rosy as it sounds on the radio. So don't, you know, totally buy into that.
No, I know. Yeah, I know that. Like, I've really tried. Like, I've got. That's what I'm saying. I was riding the crest of a wave. Like, I thought everything was going.
Yeah.
Brilliantly. Like, I thought I'd got it. I thought I'd a divine light, whatever. Do you know what I mean? I thought I'd got it.
Start again tomorrow, man.
Just something smacks you in the face, and
yeah, and you want to change the way you feel. Start again tomorrow, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
that's it. You know, start again tomorrow. You know, just one day at a time, just for today, isn't it?
A day at a time. That's it.
That's it. How did you? So when you say dependency issues, is it just booze or is it drugs as well?
A bit of both.
A little bit of both. He's a player. He's a player. one ain't enough. One thing ain't enough. You want to get everything going. And what's the longest you've been clean and sober? Clean without drugs and without booze?
I was nearly made a year. Nearly.
Oh, mate. And you had to go and scupper. You had to scupper it, didn't you?
And I think that's the thing that I beat my. They say don't beat yourself up about it, but
it's hard not to, isn't it?
It is very.
You don't. Let me have a guess, right? Coming up to a year, and you thought, oh man, I'm a piece of shit. I don't deserve a year of not drinking and not taking drugs. So I'm going to screw everything up to prove that I'm a piece of shit. And the people around me will have reason to hate me, and I'll have reason to hate myself. Is that about right?
Nail on the head, mate. Nail on the head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I've had it, man. I've had it. I get it. I get exactly what's going on, and it's hard work bumping around at the bottom, and it's painful bumping around at the bottom, isn't it?
Big time. Like, I'm just really struggling. You know what I mean? At the moment, I just don't know what to do.
How did you get clean before?
Well, I was sort of parted from my kids and my partner, and I sort of got clean on my own.
Yeah.
3 meetings and.
Yeah.
I moved back into the families, and it's just all gone. Like, I think I've sort of stepped away from what I should be doing, and I don't know. Iain,
well, okay. Well, listen, I can't tell you what to do, man. But you've kind of come up with half the answer there, where you said you've sort of stepped away from what you should be doing. Well, why don't you take a step back to what you should be doing, right? And that will help. You know, and whatever that is, whether that is meetings, whether that is, you know, speaking to a friend, whether that is handing over your bank cards to your missus, whatever those things are, the things that got you clean a year ago, why don't you start doing them again as a start?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to work, and I know, again, that it's not as simple as that. I you know, God, there's so much I want to say, but because of those arseholes at the newspapers, I'm really having to bite my tongue.
Mate.
Thanks a lot, guys.
I know.
Thanks a lot. You're stopping me sharing my experience, strength, and hope with people like this. So thank you. But it's tough, man. It's tough.
No, but I appreciate for everything you do and you say and you share on the radio.
How old are you, Paul?
I'm 40. I'll be 41 this year.
Yeah, it's time to stop, isn't it, man? It's time to knock it on the head.
Big time.
It's time to knock it on the head, isn't it? How old's your kids?
Well, my eldest will be 7 this year and 6.
Yeah, it's time to stop now, isn't it? So they've still got a dad.
That's the thing, mate. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Each use up is a little step closer towards that grave, isn't it?
Big time.
Paul, keep in touch, brother, because I'll be thinking of you. And what you got to do tonight is get to bed. Tomorrow's another day, man.
Thanks, Ian. I appreciate it.
You take care of yourself.
Mate. Take care.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye. Yeah, thanks a lot, newspapers, because now every time I say something about myself, you print it and take it out of context and, share it with members of my family that, and share it with people like Matthew Wright and stuff. It means I can't be as open with people like Paul as I would have been 6 months ago. So all of this bullshit, Daily Mirror and Sun and Mail Online and all of this stuff about, you're really backing mental health and you want to help mental health. You don't at all. You exploit it. You exploit the mentally ill. You exploit people with alcoholic and drug tendencies and addiction issues. And you manipulate them and you prod them and you prod them and you prod them with a stick so that they're walking out over a ledge on a tall building, and if you keep prodding them, you're hoping they're going to fall off the building. Well, here's something for you guys. I've got a parachute, so you can stick that right up your jacksies. But you're not helping. You don't help. You don't help. You're not helping. What you've written about my mental health stuff, right? He's getting divorced and he's having a breakdown and all of that stuff, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. It doesn't help me, and it doesn't help that bloke there, and it doesn't help people who are going through those issues. All it does is it lets a lot of people go, look at this privileged tosser. I thought he was a whinger on I'm a Celebrity, and now he can't keep out of the papers. Pour me another drink. The number of times I've seen that tweeted at me, or people tweeting at me, go and shove some white powder up your nose. That's what your news stories, creates, right? You are not sympathetic to people with mental health issues and people with addiction issues. And if you wanted to be, come and talk to me. I'll tell you some things you should be doing, but you're not interested. You want the freak show. You want tragic comic found dead in bedsit. That's what you want. And you're saying, no, we don't. No, not at all. We write this because we're really concerned about. No, you're not. You couldn't give us stuff. You couldn't give us stuff. You want the shots of people buying cocaine. You want the shots of people staggering out of off licenses, looking 20 years older than they are, and you want the death. That's what you want. That's what you want. And I really hope that you guys can sleep well at night. Good evening, Claire. Hello, Claire. How are you? Oh, God.
I'm really, really well. Hello, Carl.
Hello, Claire.
Claire's got a naughty laugh, hasn't she? What a laugh.
Yeah, you always say that.
Well, then that's because it must be true.
Hey, guess what, Ian?
What?
We haven't had a catch-up for a long while, and do you know what? I was absolutely gutted when he didn't take callers things. So today, when I saw on Twitter,
yes,
right,
yes,
I'm calling up, and guess what?
What?
I can't be Claire Hare anymore.
Why? No, God, why? What's happened? I don't know what she's talking about.
Well, I got alopecia, so I'm Claire New Hair.
Now, when you say Claire New Hair, is your hair grown back, or are you wearing a Wigington?
No, I've had a short haircut. I've had long hair for my 52.
Yes.
So I've had long hair since I was 6.
Yes.
And now I've had to have it cut. But it's all good. It just dropped out. I got cerebral. Yeah.
Was it like a stressful? Was there any kind of thing you can trace it back to, or it just happened?
Well, I got cerebrotic dermatitis in my head.
Right. Yeah.
And it caused lesions, which which bled and things. So I think it kind of weakened the root.
Yeah.
And so my hair dropped out. I had a full head of lovely, long, curly hair.
Aye.
But it doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter.
No. You can still get someone to lick your head. Get someone to lick your head.
It's supposed to be cows, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, no, just get a lover. Get a lover to lick your head.
I've got a husband.
Get him. Well, all right. Well, get him. You get him to lick your head, and then send me a video of it because that stuff really works for me. Pervert, dirty hair, pervert.
Ian,
yes.
I'm looking after my mum at the moment.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
And I'm No, not at all.
No,
Love it.
I've heard about your mum.
home.
She's a pain in the backside, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know your mum. She's a nightmare.
She's listening.
Uh-oh! She should be asleep!
Yeah, I know. She's having a whiskey and dry.
Of course she is. Sounds like you've had a couple as well. Good girl.
I've had a glass of wine.
Yes.
I'm taking my kids to McDonald's because they both work there.
Yeah.
I'll come home at 10 and I've had a glass of wine. But do say a shout out to my mum, Anne.
Yes, and you're a delightful old drunk. Go to bed, you lush. Goodness sakes.
Oh, she'll love that, Ian.
Of course she will.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
And it's so good to hear you back. You and Kath.
Up your bum, Claire.
You're very cool.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Let's go to Nick. Good evening, Nick.
Oh, hang about. Hello.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
Yeah. I'm fine and dandy, like my little dog Andy.
Wow, how long have we got?
What?
Oh, sorry, as in to talk before the adverts.
Let me worry about that.
Leave that to the professionals, Nick.
Oh, God, I just heard your producer saying, let me worry about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, right, anyway, okay. You're talking about mental health, aren't you? You suffer from mental health issues. I suffer from mental health issues. I've got bipolar. One or two, I don't even know, to be honest.
You've not only have you got bipolar, you've also got a terrible telephone. Go back to where you were standing
What's going
originally,
on?
because the phone keeps breaking
That's
up.
weird. I've got a landline if we break up.
That's double weird.
I wasn't showing off.
Yes, okay.
Actually, it's a terrible joke, sorry.
Yes.
Anyway,
yeah.
So, you suffer from mental health issues, I suffer from mental health issues, bipolar.
Yes.
I'm 30 years old, and I feel like it's taken about 10 years to get a hold of it.
Yes.
I'm a little bit manic at the moment, but I've got my head screwed on. I know what's going on.
Yes.
But I will sound like a madman, so I imagine I will probably get hung up on at some point.
Everyone will get hung up at some point. Everyone gets hung up
I
at
know,
some
I
point.
heard your show.
Yep.
But yeah, what's it? So I'm going around at the moment playing sort of, I call it a legal vigilante, because basically I have CCTV on my house. I've got footage. It's all over Facebook at the moment. I talked to Paul Ross about it last night.
That's great news. But you've got footage of what?
Yes, sorry, that's key, isn't it? I have a car. Got my. Well, I work very hard for my car. And, I got my covers nicked off it. So I've got CCTV footage. I called the police. It's not relevant to the mental health thing, but, it is a bit. Anyway, so they're useless, as well. So the guys that eventually turned up at my house were actually really helpful. But up until that point...
Why do you put covers on your car?
That's a very good question.
Who put... What is it, like a Porsche or something?
I can't tell you because it's too nice, and I don't want it to get nicked.
Right. Well, they're not nicking the car; they're nicking the covers.
Sorry, mate. Sorry. I swore. That's strike one.
Okay. They're not nicking the car; they're nicking the covers.
And something called the wind deflectors. I'm going to move again because I'm cutting out. The wind deflectors, basically, they're the things that go on the side of the car to stop.
Right. Okay. So what's your issue, caller?
Right. So my issue is it's a bit of a long story that I'm going to try and cut short.
Yeah. No, you're not going to try. You're going to if you've told it to Paul Ross already, you're going to cut it very short. What? Just tell me what the problem is now.
Short. Right. So the coppers came round eventually.
Right.
And I told them that I had bipolar, and we brought up the fact that the Met is stretched. You know, they can't deal with mental health issues.
But I thought they were dealing with. I thought they were dealing with your stolen car cover.
Yeah, well, they're not. I'm having to do that myself.
Okay, so but now they're dealing with your bipolar
thing. No, they're not. I'm dealing with that myself.
Okay, so what is the issue?
I don't have an issue.
Okay, but
I've got bipolar, but that's not an issue for me.
So what? But
I got hold of it.
Yes, you found, but it's okay. But so I don't. So what's the point?
I basically you suffer from mental health issues. Everyone suffers from mental health issues. About 1 in 4 of us. Okay, the Mets are so stretched, and you've heard the news today about the amount of muggings and stuff going on. A lot of these people are mentally ill, and the police are dealing with them. Okay? So basically, my prediction is, in the next 10, 20 years, you heard it here first, I'll coin it, or whatever the phrase is, the Met is going to split into two and go crime, mental health. That's it.
The Met is going to slip into crime, mental health?
No, it's going to split into two.
Into two what? So what?
Sections.
One for dealing with crime and one for dealing with mental health?
Yes.
Well, I call bullshine on that prediction.
Why?
Well, because it's not going to happen.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, you're probably right on that. Then.
Okay. Well, great banter.
Well, no. I mean, I can be more upbeat if you want.
No, I just don't.
I've got so many stories to tell. I can show you the video if you want.
Video of what? This is the thing. This is why people. No, be quiet. Be quiet. Listen.
All right.
No, listen and shut up and focus. And the reason I'm being I'm being so pointed with you before people start having a pop at me, is because if you are going through a manic phase, then your mind is going to be shooting off in 100 directions, and it's very easy to forget that not everyone else can keep up with that. That's why I'm being very pointed and being very... Please be quiet. This is why I'm being very...
No, I agree with you.
Stop it! This is why I'm being very pointed and what some people might consider to be rude. It's not. It's because I really want you to focus on what you're talking about. Otherwise, this is only interesting to you and no one else. So, so have you phoned up to talk about the car cover being stolen, or have you phoned up to talk about the prediction that the police and will split into two?
Well, I mean, seeing as you're talking about mental health...
we talk about anything. Anything goes. Anything goes.
Yeah, cool. So, mental health, I would say, just because I imagine, you're a smart man, Ian, that a lot of what the police deal with is mental...
Yes.
Mentally... You know what I mean.
Yes.
So, I imagine... If the government actually...
The police will split into two. But half the police force will be dealing with crime and half will be dealing with mental health issues. Yes, we've had that.
That's right.
I disagree with you. I don't think that's... I mean, I don't... Why would the police split into two?
You think it should happen, though? You think it's a good idea?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Why?
Well, why? Because I think it's a terrible idea.
Why?
Well, because it's...
Oh, actually, wait, hang on. How do you know who's mental and who's not? But
see, this is it. I don't even need to be in this conversation. This is why. Yeah. This is why I find it fascinating, because you don't even need me in this conversation, man. You don't, because you're so wired at the moment. You don't need me.
Conversation with myself.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to let you have the conversation with yourself, because you're so wired, man.
What, live on air?
Yeah, sure. Go on.
Well, seriously?
Yeah.
I'll go for it, because I want to be a comedian, and this might be like, where were you when this happened, sort of thing. But anyway, basically 10 years ago I got sectioned in Springfield, in Tooting. I escaped. I had the best time of my life because I was manic. And I had I got arrested. This all sound, I verify all this without pictures and evidence and blah, blah, blah. So if anyone would like to see it, please get in contact. So I got sectioned because I had... it's a very, very, very long story. How long have you got?
I've got until I get bored.
Really? How? Okay, all right. I'm going to talk. And
you just go and stand somewhere where we can hear you. Don't move. I know that's tricky because you're going to be twitchy as heck. But tell me about you escaping from when you were sectioned.
Okay. So, 2007. December, I had an idea. I got a bit manic. I was, 2007, I'm 30 now. Got a bit manic, had an idea that I was obsessed with bank crime. Well, I'm kind of giving this away, but I suppose no one's going to see my face. Right, so I wanted to be the Banksy of comedy.
Dude, the phone,
So,
Nick, the phone is dropping in and out, man. The phone is dropping in and out. We can't hear you, brother.
No.
Nick, have you gone? He's gone. We lost him. That was fascinating. That was one of those calls where you got to dig around a bit, and then you get to the nugget. That's a story. Car covers and that's not a story. Poor soul. I don't really get to speak to many people who are hyper, who are at the manic end. You know what used to call manic depressive. Now we call it bipolar. Who are suffering from mania. I've not really spoken to that many. I don't get it. I don't really get the massive swing. I get like a very small swing, and I get a little bit of kind of mania, but not to the extent that I think that gentleman was. And he reminded me of someone on cocaine. Not saying he was for a second, of course not, but he reminded me of someone on cocaine, and that thing of your mind is firing off in 100 directions at once, and for a while you can kind of follow all of those 100 directions, and yet you don't understand when I start talking about this car that I bought the other day, why I get a blank look from you, because you're not following the fireworks that are going off in my head. You know, you think everyone is following that map in your head. I was really interested as to where that was going and what it was like to be hyper and to be sectioned and to escape. I bet he had a brilliant time when he escaped. He had a brilliant time. And I'd love to have known what was going on. But we lost him, and that's fine, and that's the way it goes sometimes, and then maybe we'll get him on again at another point. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
No rules nocturnal nattering for nightbirds, nurses, and Nosferatu.
All right, cool.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
0344 499 1000. Good evening, Tim. Oh, Jesus. Hello, Tim.
Yeah, you talking to me?
Is your name Tim?
Yes, it is.
Well, then, have a guess.
Do you know something? I wasn't actually going to ring up about this, but because everyone's talking so low and so, deep into the conversation, what I am going to say is, do you know when people go for, when you have to go for, the treatment? Hello?
Yes, go on. Yes, I hate conversations where it's just a series of questions while you're trying to get to a point that you.
I wasn't going to bring this up, but I've always thought when people go for the.
Yes, Tim, he's gone. What's calling back?
Welcome to Virgin Mobile voicemail. Sorry.
Right, can we get rid of all these? I don't know what these. I've got all these
I know exactly what's going on.
Right, go. Thank you, Nick.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Nick. You're back.
All right, mate. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Man. What you
Can I just say before I get sidetracked? You're all right in the jungle. I love you on the words. Is it the word? Not the bloody word. That was what's his name? Terry, not Pratchett. What was his name? Christian. That's it. What were you famous? You launched Ricky Gervais and Sacha Baron Cohen's careers, basically.
I didn't. I didn't really launch their career.
Yeah, but what was the programme called?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Turn the radio off.
All right, whatever. Oh, sorry. Can you turn the radio off? Boink. There you go. Right, can I get a beer from the fridge? Sorry.
Tell you, Nick, you go and have a drink, mate, and I'll do the radio show. Yeah, you go and do that. I'll go and do the radio show. How about that, mate? Good evening, Richard.
Oh, good evening, Kath and Ian.
Good evening, Richard. What can I do for
I'd like to talk about two subjects: Periscope and puppies.
Yeah. Oh, the peas.
So
all the peas.
Can I?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
Yeah, all the peas.
Yeah.
Really enjoying the show tonight. But on Periscope, you introduced me to Periscope.
Yes. I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. No, it's a good thing.
Oh, well,
right, okay.
I'm hooked.
Oh,
I'm
really?
hooked. And it was a night when you were saying, should we go Periscope bombing?
Oh, love bombing on Periscope, yes.
Periscope? I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah.
So as a result of you saying about Periscope bombing,
Yes.
I looked at the app, I downloaded the app,
Yeah.
and I started to search Periscope.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, it's quite an amazing setup, really. And I sometimes listen to your show in advance of the recording that comes out.
Yeah.
Because it's live. And slowly but surely, I sort of found one or two things that took my interest. One of which was a wonderful, wonderful pianist called Gilly Bean.
We've had you. Oh, no, you remind me.
Hang on. You listen. I'm talking.
Oh, I like it. Yes, sir.
You like it?
Yes, I do.
I think you and I just could get on like a house on fire.
No, we wouldn't.
Because Gilly Bean is, as you know, absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
As a person, I can't think of a nicer person than Gilly Bean.
Okay.
And I've only got to know her in about the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
After you introduced me to Periscope. Yep. Now, tonight, I asked Gilly Bean, while she was playing live at the piano bar that she does every Wednesday night, if she actually got to be on your show.
Yes.
And to which she said, no.
Yes. She was on the show, but she didn't come in the studio, no.
No, you invited her
Yes, I did,
to come onto your show to play.
Yes, I did.
Yeah? And for some reason, that has not happened. So I said to Gilly tonight, I'm going to make it a quest to try and find out why, because it's not like Ian that wouldn't do that.
You could just ask me.
Yes, so that's why I phoned you up. To ask you if you're going to invite her on.
No. Now you shut up because I'm talking. Two things. First of all, First of all, you can get rid of the tone. Secondly, that you've just said you were going to ask me one question, and then you've asked a different question. The original thing you said you were going to investigate was to find out why she hadn't been on the show.
I'm listening.
Oh no, I've finished. By the way, conversations where people do that thing where when they're told to shut up because they're being rude, and then they shut up and leave long silences, even though it's obvious that if we were to follow the society's constructed norms of a conversation, it's their turn to talk. I tell you now, Richard, those conversations don't go very well with me, and it doesn't endear me to the person on the other end.
I apologise. So anyway, if I've misunderstood, I do apologise. But I was under the impression that she was going to come onto your show.
You were going to ask me why I didn't have her on the show.
Sort of, yeah. Because I think it'd be nice that if you did, because I think your listeners would enjoy her.
Yeah, well,
and I think she's fantastic.
Yes, I think she's brilliant.
So if you are planning to have her on, if I could pass on a message for you tomorrow, or if you want to get in touch with her directly, that would be really lovely.
We'll thank you. We'll pass on messages to guests, but thank you.
Okay, thanks. And the other thing I wanted to mention was, following on from a guest that you had earlier this evening regarding a puppy, I'm a new puppy owner too.
Okay.
And I've never had a dog before. I'm really enjoying my time. I thought that she was going to be much, much harder work than she is.
Wow.
And my puppy's a hearing dog.
Right.
And so I'm going to socialise the puppy for several months, and eventually she'll go on to receive further training.
There you go.
And it's really been hard work, but it's really rewarding.
Is your puppy eating its own shit?
I would recommend to any... It does.
They do for about a year. They eat their own poo.
It does.
Dirty.
It's not just its own; it will go for others as well.
Dirty dogs.
But if I keep the treats flowing, she'll keep out of the shit.
Yes. Well, then that's the thing. I just got carried away with life, and we made initial contact. And then I kind of kept saying, yeah, we'll get you on, and then it never happened. And that moment kind of passed in answer to the question that you were going to ask me, but didn't ask me.
Yeah, she said to me, well, that's the way it is. Yep. And then she played the Bruce Hornsby song, which was sort of quite inapt, and that was brilliant too.
Great song.
So there you go. I just think that she's wonderful. She's brilliant. I'd like to thank you again for introducing me to Periscope.
Peace and love.
And enjoy the rest of the evening.
Richard, good evening. Good luck to your dog, and thank you very much indeed. I don't know what's going on tonight. Let's try Jim. Good evening, Jim.
Hello, sir. Hi, Ian.
Hello, Jim.
I just want to say, love the show, but I want to talk about mania and hypomania. Would you class yourself as mentally ill? That's a big question, a serious question. Is it mental illness, or is it physical illness?
Hang on a minute. You've asked me two different questions. Pick a question and ask it.
No, one question. Is it do you feel that you are mentally ill?
No, you did ask two questions. So which question are you going to ask?
No, it's the same one.
No, it's not. It wasn't. Okay. You said the question one was, are you mentally ill? So question two was, is it physical or mental illness? So those are two different things. So which question are you going to ask?
First one.
Remind me what it was again.
It was, do you think you're mentally ill? Do you believe in that concept? That it's pure mood disorder?
Now you're asking a different question. Now you're asking another question. Do I believe in... I prefer that question. Do I believe in the concept of mental illness?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it's purely a mood disorder.
No. You're putting your own interpretation of what mental illness is. Do I believe in mental illness? Yes.
Okay, well, actually, I'm not. I'm talking about what psychiatry puts on. It says it is a mood disorder.
Okay, well, that's fine, but please don't tell me what I mean by mental illness.
No, I didn't.
You did. You started to, and I interrupted you.
Okay, well...
Listen, I tell you what, instead of doing it again, this is another one of those conversations where people are asking lots of questions because they want to get to a point they want to make. Why don't you just make the point you want to make and we can discuss that?
Okay, good point, well said.
Thank you.
My argument is it is primarily a physical disorder associated with a hormone called cortisol.
Right, now say it in English so that people can so that people can understand it, Jim.
Yeah, fair point.
Not everyone is as well read as you.
Sorry, I apologise. That's a fair point, and you're right. I've read it so much, I'm sick to death of it, quite frankly. But cortisol is at the heart of the majority of mental ill health. It's a stress hormone, but most people have never heard of it. And you can be in 50% of depressed people are in high cortisol, and the big proportion of the rest are in relatively low cortisol. It's all documented. I'm constructing my own website, and I'll certainly tell you when I've done it. The critical point is 50% are in high cortisol. The gentleman came on before with mania and hypomania. The question is, what causes that? Now, all the indication is that you go into a high of cortisol, and that will cause your mania.
Right, why are you telling... Well, OK, let's just be careful. I don't want you diagnosing my callers, because I'm sure... Well, you are, so don't. OK, so what? So you say what you've... So what?
Well,
if we take your premise as given, what?
We can reduce cortisol, but we don't. We could treat mental illness. We could treat, right now, the majority of people with hypomania, mania...
Says who? Says who?
The papers, the research papers.
Says what research papers? How many research papers? Why isn't it happening? You're going to come out. You're going to come out with a line.
I can refer you to them if you want.
No, you're going to come out with a line that depression is fueled by the big pharma companies, right?
Not at all.
That they don't want to find a cure.
Well, with great respect, have you heard of a hormone called cortisol?
I couldn't give a shit. What is the point you are trying to make? Because I'll be honest, it sounds like utter bullshine.
Well, I appreciate when you talk about things like the supernatural, which you're interested in. I appreciate that sometimes factual things do cause a problem, but the facts are there. You've heard of thyroid hormones.
Jim.
You don't want to know about it. It's okay, because you don't want to know about the gender pay gap either. But you're wrong on that one, my friend.
Jim.
Go on, my friend.
Right, here we go. Let's start again, because you've not got off to a great start, and I knew there was something, but you've not got off to a great start, right? So put the attitude down, that down, and forget about that, right?
Go on.
Forget about trying to score points.
No.
Yeah, you are. You're patronising and you're trying to score points, and you're bringing up stuff that is all over the shop and is rambling. What is it you want to say?
I think the critical point here is that unless people listen to facts...
Right, no, but these are facts according to you, Jim, and people don't listen. People don't listen.
My friend, you're wrong. This is not according to me. This is according to very many research papers.
People don't listen. People don't listen to patronising arseholes, Jim. That's the thing. So again,
they listen to you, Ian.
Put the attitude. I'm a much bigger man than you because I'm ignoring all of these because I don't need to score points.
I love you.
You don't. You dislike me immensely.
When you were singing Elvis Presley was the best thing you've done. I promise you.
Jim. Why am I finding you so obnoxious? Tell me that. Is that to do with cortisol?
I'll tell you why. Because
I don't like facts. I love facts. I devour facts.
Well, what 50% of depression is a certain...
Why is my psychiatrist very is the news pre-recorded?
Good point. What do you say?
Jim, let me ask a question. Why is my psychiatrist a very wise, intelligent, very well-read gentleman? Why has he never mentioned my cortisol levels to me?
Has he never mentioned that? You see, that is fascinating. It really is. Because very high levels of cortisol are associated with Alzheimer's.
Why has he never mentioned my cortisol levels to me?
It's a very difficult question, because it's considered... In the 1950s it was discovered, and it was rolled out across America as a miracle.
But why has my psychiatrist, who charges a fortune... And he's brilliant. And I'm going to go and see him again in a couple of weeks. I'm going to see him again in a couple of weeks. And he lets me speak, which is great, which is one of the reasons why I like talking to him.
That's good.
Yeah. And he's got manners. And so when I go and see him, and I'll say to him, Neil, just can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This depression that's going on, the cortisol levels, why in all the years that I've seen him, has he never mentioned that, Jim, do you think?
I love it. Good question. Ask him that.
No, I'm asking you that. I'm asking you that. Why has he never mentioned it?
Can I speak? So, in the 1950s, as I say, it was rolled out as a wonder drug.
No, Jim, could you answer the question? I don't want to go back. I don't want a history lesson. Why do you think that my psychiatrist, one of the best in the country, has never mentioned it? Why do you think?
Because they don't want to talk about it.
Why doesn't he... Right, now we're getting somewhere. Why doesn't he want to talk about it?
Because my father was a consultant psychiatrist, but they don't want to talk about it.
Why doesn't he want to talk about it? And now we're getting to the issue. Now we brought Daddy into it. Now we're getting somewhere. So why doesn't my psychiatrist? Why doesn't I bet there's something going on there. Why doesn't why doesn't my psychiatrist? And I nearly called him my daddy. Why doesn't my psychiatrist? Why doesn't my psychiatrist want to talk about it?
Because it could be a possible cure.
Right, okay. So why doesn't... Here we go. Why doesn't my psychiatrist want to cure my depression?
Well, this is what we're going to now. Because, well, what would you do if you were in a profession where you could cure somebody?
Yeah.
If I ask you about...
No, don't, I don't want questions. Why does... We're getting there, and this is great, Jim. Focus. Why doesn't my psychiatrist want to cure me?
Because he's very happy in his job.
Right, okay. So, Jim, with respect, when I said about 5 minutes ago, you were going to say that they don't want to cure depression because it makes money, and you said no. Well, you were lying then.
Well, I wasn't lying.
Well, no, but I made that point 5 minutes ago, and I would have saved us 5 minutes of this if you'd have just simply said, yeah, that's the reason, because they want to make money.
You see, that this is part of the problem.
No. Don't do smoke. No smoke screens. Don't start waving your hand in the other direction. You can't stand you can't stand direct questions. When I asked you the question 5 minutes ago, was it because they wanted to make money? And you said no.
Fascinating.
Why did you lie then? Why did you lie then?
Have you thought you might be in a hypomanic episode?
Why did you lie then?
Hypomanic. It is not always manic.
Why did you lie then?
Nobody's lying, Ian.
Well, when I asked you, are they not trying to cure depression because they want to keep making money? You said no, that's not it. But now you're saying that is it.
When you go back to your psychiatrist...
No, Jim, answer the question. Why did you dismiss the point that I made, that now I've just managed to wheedle out of you yourself?
Have you finished? I'm assuming that silence is yes, because that's the only way you can stop talking. When you go to your psychiatrist...
No, Jim. Answer my question. Answer my question, Jim. No, it's not. It's really, really dull. Answer my question.
It's a great shame.
No, I'll tell you why I'm being so angry, Jim. Because people like you drive young men to suicide. Because what you're spouting is dangerous bollocks. So let me ask you one more time, Jim, and please focus on this question and answer it, right? About 6 minutes ago now, I said...
It's about an hour and a half I tried to ring you up, but there you go.
Well,
I was actually going to ring you about the pay gap.
I couldn't give a toss, mate. About 6 minutes ago, I said something along the lines of... Are you going to take us down a long conversation at the end of it, say that the reason companies don't want to...
I know your question.
Well, then can you answer it?
And I said no, and I'll tell you why. Because cortisol's a difficult hormone to handle. That's a very important issue. But
Jim, can I ask you, what's your medical training, Jim?
I've researched 1,000 papers.
So I don't want to know what you've read, because I've read all the famous 5. What's your medical training, Jim? What's your medical training, Jim?
I have none.
Jim, thanks so much for calling. I really appreciate your time. This is the Late Night Alternative on Talk Radio.
Talk Radio. The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
I'm all thumbs, no action. Attention deficit distraction. My brain operates on a fraction. All thumbs, no human interaction. I speak in typos, predictive texting. I spell checked it. I stand auto-corrected. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk dead, and then you died. Aristocrat. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk dead, and then you died. Bring your life back. Emoji. Y-O-U. Apostrophe R-E. Your own very worst best friend to me. Emoji. T-H-E-Y. Apostrophe R-E. Predictive text. Spell check it. I stand auto-corrected. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk dead, and then you died. Aristocrat. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk dead, and then you died. Bring your life back. We defy the face time, continue on. We defy the face time, continue on. I'm speaking typo, predictive texting. I spell checked it. Asterisk. I stand auto-corrected. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. Continue. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. And then you died. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk dead, and then you died. Aristocrat. I unplug your life support to make an outlet for my iPhone, and then you died. Asterisk dead, and then you died. Bring your life back. Emoji.
Etc., etc. 2 things I introduced my boys to today. One was virtual reality, the headset on the PlayStation 4. First time I've taken it round there. And we played... we started off with a fun game, right? A cartoony game called Dick Wild. No, it's not like that. Don't get excited, Catherine. Basically, you're sort of like, sort of a deliverance guy, and you're on in a lake, and you've got to shoot crocodiles, and then fish jump out, and then they spit at you, and you've got a duck, right? My youngest wanted to go first, and 2 minutes into it, and he's got the goggles on and the headphones on, and 2 minutes into it, he's going, Daddy, can I come out of this now, please? And I said, sure, what's wrong? He said, I'm too scared. And I took it off, and he was crying. He was crying, because he said it was too realistic, and if you've played Dick Wild, it's like playing a cartoon. But we did find some games that they liked, and they loved it. They loved the whole virtual reality, and it was hilarious watching them. The other thing I introduced them to today was beans, good for your heart, the more you eat, the more you fart. They didn't know that rhyme. In America, of course, you know what the phrase, how they do it in America?
Go on.
Beans, the musical fruit, the more you eat, the more you toot. That's the American version of it. You look like you're about to say something.
There's another line for the beans good for your heart. The more you eat, the more you fart. The more you fart, the more you eat. We should have beans for every treat, or something like that.
I'm off to the Isle of Wight tomorrow, so it's immediately after this show I'm being picked up at 1:00 by a chauffeur-driven luxury car. I'm being taken to a hotel. What's opposite the Isle of Wight? Portsmouth? Brighton?
Is that where the Bee Gees went to, the Isle of Wight?
Well, I don't know. They went to Australia, didn't they? But so I'm opposite. I'm staying in a hotel opposite the Isle of Wight. Then I am at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting a ferry to the Isle of Wight to spend the day on the Isle of Wight filming stuff for Loose Women. This is the showbiz lifestyle I'm leading. It's an hour and a half away.
It's opposite, like Portsmouth and that.
Portsmouth, like I said then. So I will be staying in a luxury hotel in Portsmouth, get there about 2:30, and then have to get about 4 hours sleep and get up and go and hang out in the Isle of Wight all day, which I'm looking forward to. I've never been to the Isle of Wight. Do I need a passport? What language do they speak? And other jokes like that. 03444991000 is the telephone number. If you want to give me a call, you'd be very, very welcome. Here we go. Let's go to Gareth. Good evening, Gareth.
Hello.
Hello, Gareth.
Hello.
Yes, Gareth.
Hello. Hi, Ian. I'm a new listener, and I just wanted to talk about. I suffer from severe anxiety. So something along the lines of, I've been listening to the last couple of people, and how I cope with my severe anxiety would be just to go to, like, the medication and stuff. But the guy was on about the cortisol.
Yes.
That's only one part of it.
Yes.
It's very complex. But the thing about it is, you have to, what I call it, something where you have to love it to sort of you have to be on the shoes of somebody. They try to explain it, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
But there was an issue that happened to me where my sister was more or less crucified by the media. I'm not going into it too much because it was publicised last week on the media and the Daily Mirror and stuff about a tragedy that happened. I'm from Ireland, you see.
Yes.
Northern Ireland.
Right.
But I just wanted to phone tonight because just needed to talk and get the issues out about, the way people were talking about anxiety and stuff.
Yeah.
And depression and stuff. But how it's sort of like engulfed us all as a family because the media was so, the way trolls, I think you were talking about it earlier, I'm not sure, about people, being trolls and the amount of hurt and stuff that we had to go through in a week. Now you know how the celebrities and famous people feel and how they... And I work for a quiet family, and it really took it because I suffer from severe anxiety and depression.
Yes, and if it's you're being dragged through the papers, then that's only going to make your anxiety worse.
Worse, yeah.
So listen, reveal as much or as little as you want.
Yeah. Well,
go on.
It was involved. I'll just mention what happened. It was, and the deal with. Do you remember the Buncrana Pier tragedy that happened a couple of years ago?
No, do you know that name doesn't ring a bell? What remind me?
The family that died and the family that died and the car and the pier.
Do you know what, Gareth? I don't know that story actually.
Yeah.
That doesn't ring a bell.
It was in 2016.
Right. Okay.
And 5 members of the family died. But my sister, I'll get back to the story. Sorry. My sister was claiming against the city Donegal Council, but people thought she was claiming of the dead family, which was totally, and that's where where the the horrible.
So she was
from.
she was getting having a hard time because that people thought that she was being callous and claiming against a dead family when actually she wasn't at all. Well, that must have been horrific for all of you, Gareth. How did you kind of get on with your day-to-day life with all that hanging over you?
Well, I was on Facebook, and you know that old saying where the more you try not to read about it or hear about it, the more you be brought on it. But I took my father's advice, and it just says that I'm going to try to. It blew over. You know the way as media stories do.
Yep.
I don't need to tell you, they come and they go as quick as they come, but it's had such an impact, and she's a very strong person, my sister, for dealing with it all. Because to be honest with you, I thought it would have been a lot worse because of my severe anxiety. Yeah. But I cope with it very well, and that's what it just goes to show you that if we can, as a family, if we can deal with that there, we can deal with anything. But but it was just tough, and it just goes to show you that the media. There was one journalist that stuck by her, and do you know what I mean? And the other side of the story as such, and it just goes to show you, but that one local newspaper had more or less crucified her, and it just goes to show you that there's always two sides to the story. Here's
where I am with papers now, Gareth. I don't believe a word of it, and I've always been very, very sceptical. I've always been very sceptical of most of the stories in the papers, but just the last week or so. And so, some of the rubbish that has been printed that could have easily been disproved, I don't believe any of it.
But can I interject?
I don't believe any of it.
I'm a journalist. No. I'm not a scumbag. I like to think that I do my best for people whose stories I take up.
Yeah.
And so we're not all like that. It's just
that's what I was going to say. There was a journalist that was sticking up for my sister, so they're not all bad. That's what I'm sorry if I didn't say it.
No,
that's what I meant. There's always two sides. You know what I mean? There are good journalists.
It's the ones that swoop in, see the headline as being more important than the person behind it, and leave a trail of devastation when they're on to their next thing. It's it happens.
Like we woke up on the Monday morning and our local, and it just goes to show you that even English newspapers were. I'm not going to mention, don't worry. Some English newspapers were taking it on board, and it's very hard to get. It's not. I'm an average, everyday person, so it's sort of like I was getting all the physical symptoms, like the with anxiety, like the not sleeping and stuff like that, and not eating. But it just goes to show you how you can wake up one day and we weren't expecting it as a family, and it's just seeing your sister's face in the newspaper. It was just it was like shell shock, to be honest. Gareth, and I sort of went around in a daze.
Yeah, Gareth, listen, it must have been a shock. I've got to move on. Thank you for that, mate. And keep on keeping on, brother. 0344 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
A star-crossed soapbox for sailor boys, stable girls,
I'm on the edge,
and stripper grands.
It depends who you're with, and it depends on the situation.
Late night speech radio with a difference.
Thank you.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
All right, let's get on with this nonsense, shall we? Good evening, Tim.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry my phone went that day earlier on.
Okay, I can't remember what we were talking about.
Do you know something? I've had that many conversations in my head to talk about because there's been that many people ringing.
Yes.
I'm thinking, what shall I talk about?
Okay, and
but the main thing is, like, you know that question that you keep on asking to people who suffer mental illnesses is like, if somebody says, why didn't you talk about this? Why do you not talk about this?
You've lost me.
Like, you keep on asking people a question. Why do you not talk about it?
That's the question. Hang on. That's the question I keep asking people.
Yeah.
Why do you not talk about it?
Because I don't want to. Because because I feel bad. Because it's in my head.
Okay.
That's what my answer is.
Right. Okay. So you've got me on the back foot here, Tim. I don't remember what we spoke about the first time. Are you referencing that, or is this a brand new conversation?
I'm referencing. Who did you speak to earlier on? You spoke to someone earlier on.
Yes.
And you kept on saying, "Why do you not talk about it?" That's what you kept on asking him.
About what? What were we talking about? I've got to have a bit of context here, Tim.
I forgot who you were talking to.
What were we talking about? Because I don't remember saying
Catherine, can you help him out?
I can't help you out, mate.
I don't remember what we... you
were talking to somebody earlier on, and you kept on saying, "Why do you not talk about it?"
I don't think I did.
That's what I'm on about. The person who called up and said that he can heal people's problems.
Oh, right, no, okay, well, I didn't quite... okay, I didn't keep asking that question.
The person who called up...
Yes?
The person who called up and said that...
With cortisol would solve most mental health issues. Yes,
yeah.
Okay.
And then you said to him,
I didn't.
If I asked you why do you not talk about it, what would you say?
No, I didn't. I don't. I think you misunderstood. I was trying to get him to focus on a very specific question that he had said no to originally. Then he brought it up himself and said contradicted himself. So
I think the mix-up here is you were saying, "Why isn't my psychiatrist telling me about it?"
Right. Oh yeah, that's what you were saying.
Yes.
You were saying, why didn't my psychiatrist say like?
Yes.
And I actually know the way that you were thinking. Like, if someone asked me a question, sometimes I do not want to answer it, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't, and I think I think we're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
So, so what's going on for you at the moment, Tim?
Yeah, it's all good. Well, it isn't all good, but it's all good.
Here we go. Can I just say, I knew I'd get a stroppy email from Wasim. I knew it.
Can't resist.
I knew it. Here we go. Let me read this.
About me, Ardy.
No, I'm not talking about you. This is from the fella at the start who said he wouldn't send me any more mean emails, and then he did. To conclude, Ian, I've only ever told the truth in my email.
Okay.
Tim, don't phone up and swear on my show, mate.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Thanks very much indeed. To conclude, Ian, wait, there's a very dark vibe tonight, and it's not coming from me. Unusually, it's not coming from me. Quite often, my vibe taints the show with a hint of grey, but it's not coming from me. To conclude, Ian, says Wasim, I think maybe it's because he kicked off the show. I've only ever told the truth in my emails. This guy's obsessed with me. Literally couldn't... he thinks about me all the time.
All his emails are about him telling it like it is.
Yeah. But then when I tell it like it is to him, he doesn't like it. Yeah. And if you... Wasim, call in again. I'm not going to read your... I'll read it out, because you're a nut job. To conclude, Ian, I've only ever told the truth in my emails. And if you can't bring yourself to admit that, then that's your problem. Anyway, time to go back to watching paint dry. Bit similar to listening to your show nowadays. Wasim, I've told you to stop listening to me for the last 6 months. You keep coming back. And the words pot, kettle and black spring to mind. Pot... Oh, like the phrase. Yeah, okay, got you, yeah. When I think about what you accuse me of, like having a dark soul, lol, it made me feel sorry for you, actually, Ian, more than anything else. Talk about having delusions of grandeur. Here we go. Ta-ta, then. All right, Wasim, I look forward to either speaking to you now, speaking to you when you set up another Twitter account, speaking to you in 3... Whatever. Trust me. As soon as I look at the screen and go to my next call, I'll have forgotten you.
Well, see, that kind of message is the reason why I won't let my 9-year-old daughter have a mobile phone.
Oh, God.
Because that is the sort of crap they send each other.
Well, Wasim is the most self-obsessed man I've ever spoken to. And that's saying something from a show that used to get calls from Russ from Lichfield. Let's go to... Nick is back. Hello, Nick.
Hey.
Nick, take the Bluetooth off.
Yeah, I'm doing it now. Whoa, hang on.
We're live.
So why did you get sectioned 10 years ago?
Oh, mate, how long have you got? Well, 20 minutes. Oh, no, wait, 34 minutes and then ads, so about 25 minutes.
Don't worry about the time.
You're obsessed with producing the
I
show.
know.
We're professionals. Trust us.
No,
just answer the
I know,
question.
but I'm producing my life at the moment.
Well, don't. Let have a guest producer. That's me. Hi, pleased to meet you. So tell me about when you got sectioned.
Right. So, you know Springfield and Tooting?
That's irrelevant. Really? No, I don't.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I'll stick. You need to steer me in the right direction, which is your job. Exactly.
Yeah, which is why I've asked you a very specific question. Why did you get sectioned 10 years ago?
Right. Because I got arrested for. It's a very long story, so I don't know where to start. So
Why did you get sectioned 10 years ago?
Because the police. If I get cut off if I said it, basically, you know, the R word, and it's a very horrible word, but I believe, and it might be a complete grandiose idea, blah blah blah. But you know, the police tried to do something very, very naughty to me. I know.
Tell me what. What did they try and do to you?
I can't tell you that because it's just too. I don't actually like talking about it. I broke down in front of my parents talking about it today, actually. So
okay, all right. Well, then I don't want you to do that. But you don't get sectioned because the police tried. You got sectioned because you were mentally ill.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. So what happened for you to be sectioned?
Right. So I had an idea. I was obsessed with Banksy at the time. I promise you, I've told this story about 100 times today, so I'll do it as quick as I can. So I was obsessed with Banksy, the artist. Wanted to become. I still do. Want to become a comedian. I see this as an audition almost. Anyway, so my idea was basically to dress up as Banksy and be like the Banksy of comedy. So I went to the comedy store in Piccadilly Circus, parked around the corner. I got a parking ticket. I was dressed up as you know Phone Jacker.
Okay, yeah. So you went to the comedy store dressed up as Banksy, yeah.
Well, I looked like Phone Jacker. So I had my phone. I had, you know Heelys, the little kids, the shoes that your kids probably have. I had adult versions of those. So I was like wheeling around looking like a madman. Got a parking ticket, and I got a bit angry because everyone was parked on a yellow line.
So you lost your temper with the traffic warden?
No, I didn't catch him. Actually, no, I did. Yes, no, I did.
And
yes.
Did you hit him?
I got very angry with him. No, of course not. No. Well,
no. I'm trying.
I was level. Yes, sorry. Yes. No, I did not hit him. No.
Okay, so
anyway,
tell me why you got what behaviour of yours got you sectioned, and how long were you sectioned for?
What behaviour? So basically, I got arrested because I called the police.
Yeah.
Because I got a parking ticket because I was a bit annoyed.
Okay.
This is 10 years ago, so there were no smartphones. Well, not many. In fact, the iPhone had just come out, and I got that in the hospital, so I was all manic, and I started little, kid in the candy shop. But what's it?
How did you escape?
I had a digital camera, and I was filming the police like those Muppets do, with the phones, right in the face of the police. Oh, I'm filming you.
I've asked the wrong question. No, hang on.
No, Nick, I promise you, I'm getting there.
Nick, no. I've asked the wrong question. Nick, I've asked the wrong question, and that's my fault, and I apologise. How and why did you escape from when you were sectioned?
Oh, escape. That's a whole story. Right, so I was in there for 3 months on Section 2, which is 28. Section 2, if you're Section 2, you're never a Section 1 for some reason.
Okay, why did you escape?
28. Okay, because I wanted to and I could.
So how did you escape?
I turned a bench upside down and I jumped over the fence.
Wowzers. And then what did you do? You had an adventure, did you?
Little Red Riding Hood.
You had an adventure. No, I don't think Little Red Riding Hood jumped benches upside down.
Well, no, mate, you say it was an adventure. I can tell you that was one little story.
You told me it was an adventure. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, do you want me to tell you that little story? Because I got 100 of them.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to hear that, yeah.
All right, cool. Right, so it was late at night. I was getting sick and tired of the people in the hospital, even though they're really, really cool and interesting. And everyone, a really mixed bag of people, but I was getting pissed off because I was, getting a bit annoyed because I was a little, I wasn't allowed to leave. So I left by taking the bench. I turned it upside down, climbed on top of the bench, then jumped over I threw my little black sack of all my belongings. I had my Heelys on. So it makes me laugh thinking about it. And then I jumped over and ran through the forest. It's by a golf course. I got on the back. This is so random, but I can't remember what time it was, but basically there was a bloke on a motorbike. And I ran up to him and went, "Oh, mate, I just escaped from a mental hospital." Oh, sorry, I was smoking anyway. I said, "Can I get on the back of your bike? Can you just take me anywhere, please?" He went, "What?" He's a bit startled, obviously. And he let me on the back of his bike. He took me literally down to the road. So obviously he didn't want to take me without a helmet on and my Heelys and a black bag on the main road. So I got to the end of the sort of entrance to Springfield. It's a big old complex. You still there?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yes, I'm listening.
But I'm very aware that I'm rambling.
So and as long as you're aware of that, that's good. That's cool.
If you want the ads, I can roll the cigarette.
We are professionals. We know what we're doing.
Cool. Right. So I got my Heelys on. I'm heeling through the streets with my backpack on the back like a madman. I have an iPhone because I had access to a computer in there, and I ordered an iPhone when it came out, and I was very, very happy about that.
Fascinating.
Anyway, so
no, I am. I'm finding it fascinating.
It was amazing. It was like the best thing ever.
Carry on. You're going down the road with your Heelys, yeah?
Yeah. So calling a taxi. I've got about 5 minutes. I got about Battersea, and then I said, "Mate, I don't have any money." And he said, "Okay, well, get out of the cab." So I got out of the cab. I apologised.
Yeah.
Explained the situation. He went. He ended up just sort of driving off because he.
How long were you escaped for?
I imagine I scared him away.
How long were you escaped for?
How long was I escaped for? Realistically, probably about 2 hours.
And then
I called my mate. I went into a pub. I tried to bag a pint. They didn't let me have it, and I kicked off just a little bit. I asked if I could borrow the phone because I didn't have any more credit or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, and then I called my friends, and then my friends being friends called the police.
Good for them.
And I got in the back of the van. And
so that was 10 years ago, and you're having one of your hyper manic periods now. And just in summary, because we are going to move on.
Yeah.
How do you cope with your mania today?
Today, honestly, it's another long story, but basically I've been having stuff stolen off my car. It's on YouTube, my YouTube channel.
Yeah, we know that. How are you coping with your mania today? We know about the car, and we know about the police.
Vigilante.
So how are you coping with your illness today?
By playing vigilante.
That's how you cope with your manic periods.
That's a summary.
Okay.
No, not generally. Not generally. Now I am. Generally, it's been a learning curve over the last 10 years because I was originally diagnosed with social phobia when I came out of uni at Southampton. And it made sense at the time because I was very withdrawn and depressed, and it was horrible, a really horrible time. Like literally. No, it was really weird because I was manic when I went there. I was so excited; it almost crept up on me because I went straight after a gap year, and I went in, and the first sort of month or so, I was like life and soul party, halls party, right? Everyone loves Nick, and then it just went, and I was in my room for about 3 months.
Okay.
Literally, I left maybe a couple of times, and I was like this crazy guy, like
Nick,
staring through the fisheye.
Nick,
like, where are the people that are getting paranoid and stuff?
Nick, I'm going to interrupt now because I'm going to bring this to an
end.
end.
No worries, mate.
I really, I really appreciate you talking to us because I've found it fascinating, and I know a lot of other people will have found it fascinating as well. So thank you very much for sharing with us.
Can I say one last thing very, very quickly?
I bet you can't make it quick. I bet it'll go on for flipping ages. Go on, try.
I bet I can.
Try.
I promise you, I bet I can. All right, fine. And I don't condone it, and I don't bloody grow it because that's stupid. But legalise cannabis.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for
All
calling.
right.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye. Fascinating, isn't it? Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
There's a
Absolutely
slice of life you don't get to hear about.
Isn't it? Hard work. Hard work for us. Imagine how
what it's
hard
like
it is
being
for him.
him. Yeah.
Imagine. Honestly, it's similar. It reminds me of. It reminds me of talking to people on cocaine, but without the arrogance and the self-obsession. With less self-obsession than the people who are on cocaine. If you're on cocaine, you talk at that speed, your mind fires out in 1,000 directions, but it's all about me.
And there is a dark vibe.
And there is a dark vibe. And with him, it was like that, but with a hint of darkness and with less self-obsession.
Yeah.
Good luck, Nick. I wish you the best of luck, brother, and you give us a call anytime you want. And I hope you appreciate why I was being very direct and very specific with my questions, because I really wanted to try and hone you in there, because that was interesting. Wasim.
Yeah, Ian, you wanted me to come back on?
Yeah, so you did send me a stroppy email like I said you would. No, I didn't, man. It's not
because
stroppy.
It's a reaction, mate. You say things and you want someone to just be quiet.
No, I don't. You're obsessed with Wasim. Here's the thing.
You provoked me, so I called you back. Simple.
Okay, here's the thing. You don't like me.
No, I don't. Who said I don't like you? Where'd you get that from?
In the snidey emails and the snidey
Who said I don't
tweets.
like you? I don't like what you say.
Okay,
That's
well,
different.
what I say is what I am. I am what I say.
I just feel like what you said to me before was really mean. That's why I actually.
I am what I say, and I choose. Words are my tools, and words are my weapons, and words are also, and words are, and I'm speaking, and words are also the things that I use to woo and to comfort people. Words are what I say is what I am.
And to attack them.
Huh?
Yeah, Ian, but you know what?
What did you just say? I missed that little dig because I was speaking poetry.
I said, and to attack them.
I said weapons. I said weapons. I included that in there. Yeah. If you were listening,
yeah, you called me a nasty piece of work, Ian. I thought about it afterwards. It was quite hurtful.
Okay, well, here's a tip. Here's a suggestion. When you say you're not going to contact me anymore,
yeah, because you say things and then people have to react to you, and that's why people call you back in. You can't let it lie, can you?
Okay, fine. Here's the thing. When you say you're not going to contact me anymore, here's a suggestion: don't contact me. Don't email me.
Yeah, but you say things, but then someone it plays on someone's mind, so then they have to contact you.
Only if they're nuts. Here's another suggestion.
But I'm not. Okay, so I'm nuts for arguing back and taking you on.
Here's another suggestion.
I'll put my hands up. I'm nuts.
Here's another suggestion. Don't listen to the radio. Don't listen to the radio show. You don't like it. You don't like the words. Well, don't listen to the radio show. Go and listen.
I did like the radio show to begin with. That's the
thing. You don't like it now. You don't like it now. So,
yeah, I used to like it because I thought you were someone else. Mate.
That's great. Okay, fine.
So I remember you from BBC WM.
Okay, that's great. So you used to like it, and now you don't, and it just gets you very upset and very wound up.
No, it doesn't. I enjoy some of the calls, to be honest with you, and I've said to you already. If you listen
to but you're getting very het up. You said you were upset.
I'm not het up, mate, but you say horrible things, mate. But then
I think you have a dark vibe. And I think you're mean.
I don't have a dark vibe, even.
Just expressing an opinion.
If I had a dark vibe, I would have sent you really bad messages, but I haven't.
You have done, Wasim. You just don't see that the message.
I haven't sworn at you. I haven't said anything bad to you. I haven't been offensive to you.
Yeah, well, you have been offensive to me. And here's the thing: you don't have to swear just to be mean. You can be mean without swearing.
To people who are writing on, people are swearing.
No, not comparing. Don't compare. Don't compare. Just talk about your stuff. What you don't appreciate is that some of the things you say in emails, in tweets and in phone calls, what you don't appreciate is that they can be hurtful.
They're not meant to be hurtful.
That's irrelevant, whether they're meant to be or not.
How is that
whether they're meant to be or... No, it is irrelevant. Whether they're meant to be or not is irrelevant. What you have to consider is the other person's feelings. and you don't.
But you don't do that, mate.
No,
That's
I
the
do.
reason- That's the
No,
whole
when I
reason
said
for that
no, I
argument,
do.
you-
When I said you had a dark vibe and that you were an arsehole, I knew that it would be hurtful. I knew it. You send messages to me.
Calling me an arsehole is not really hurtful, to be fair.
Yeah, I know.
That's
That's what I know.
Piece of work and dark.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
You
That's
don't
why
know me. You don't know me, Ian, man. Come on.
No, but I don't want to know you because what little I know of you.
I don't want to know you either, mate. But I've got to reply to you.
listening.
The only reason I called you an email
keep
is to
listening.
reply to you.
Okay, you said you wouldn't email me, then you did. But listen, when I called you...
Because you said something horrible to me, so I replied to you, but I didn't swear at you, did I?
Okay. Again, you're obsessed with swearing. When I said those things to you, I knew that they were mean and hurtful, okay? Because I have empathy.
Finally, you admit it.
Yeah, because I have empathy.
We got there in the end.
Because I have empathy. But when you say things, you don't have empathy.
I do have empathy because what have I said to you that you disagree with?
I'm going to finish the point because it's really important, Wasim. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to listen because this is another thing you don't do.
I always listen, but you don't. But carry on.
Okay. So when you send things, because of your what I perceive.
It's not perceived.
You don't know what I'm saying, Wasim. You don't even know what sentence I'm going to say.
Okay, I'm not going to say anything. Carry on.
No, because you're not listening. You're not
I'm
listening.
listening now. Carry on.
Okay. So when you send a message, because of what I perceive to be a lack of empathy on your part, you don't realise that what you're saying is actually hurtful to other people.
That is not my intention. I just don't. I don't agree with you on something. I mean, you come across as being mean to me. That's
And I've accepted that, and I said that some of the things I've said to you tonight have been deliberately mean because I was proving a point. Address the point I just made.
But you don't understand, Ian. Though, like people do also have mental health problems as well.
No,
People
I've
can get
accepted.
upset.
Listen, I've accepted
You know,
what I said was mean. I've accepted what I said was mean and hurtful. There was a deliberate reason I said it, so that we could ultimately have this conversation we're having now. Address the point I just made.
Can you repeat the point?
There we go. But you listen, Wasim. You listen all the time.
I sort of forgot the point.
But you listen. You said you listen all the time.
I do listen to what you say, yeah, I do.
Okay, so can you
I don't
address
agree with what you, what you say.
No, I know, you don't
I
have
do
to agree with me.
those things.
So, can you address the point that I made that you listened to so carefully?
Could you summarise it quickly?
I'll say it one more time for you.
I do forget things at times, I won't lie to you.
So, when you send me messages and tweets and, and emails, because of what I perceive to be lack of empathy on your part, you oftentimes don't realise that what you're saying could be interpreted by the person it's sent to as mean and can be hurtful.
Yeah, but it's the same for you, mate.
No, it's not. It's not, because I've admitted what I said was mean and hurtful. Wasim, really focus on this point, man. Focus on the thing I've just said. Forget me, because I've admitted that what I've said to you...
the messages, how's your mental health? I hope everything improves for you. You don't ever read that out, do you? I just say, I hope everything works out for you.
So you're not going to address... You Wasim, you're not going to address the point that I've raised?
I'm going to address the point that you feel that... You feel that some things I said to you can be hurtful, and you feel
No. That's not what I said. What I said was, some things you say are hurtful.
Yes, I understand.
You don't, because you've just said something very different. It's not that I'm saying some of the things you say could be perceived as hurtful. No. Some of the things you say are hurtful, and you don't realise that you're doing it. That's what I'm saying. Now, please, that's the fourth time. No, it's not. It's not, because
I don't mean to be hurtful.
Okay. We're getting there. I didn't say that you meant to be hurtful.
I know that you perceive some of the things I say.
No, I don't perceive some of the things you say as hurtful. Some of the things you say are hurtful. I'm not saying you're doing it deliberately, and I'm not saying I perceive them as hurtful. Some of the things you say are actually hurtful, but you don't realise that what you... Well, and then we're getting somewhere. You don't realise, and you can't even begin to accept for a second that perhaps... let me finish the point, Wasim! Because you are not focusing. You are not focusing. You will not accept for 1 second that perhaps some of the things you've said to me are hurtful. You won't accept that for a second.
Okay, let me get this on the record then. I do accept some of the things I said to you are hurtful, but do you accept that some of the things you said to me are hurtful?
Yes, I've admitted that 5 times. I've admitted that 5 times in the last 3 minutes. So we've focused that. We've done that. Let's push that to one side because I've admitted it and I've put my hands up. So let's focus on the point I just raised. Last time, Wasim, last chance. Okay, last chance.
Yes, I know you said, mate. I understand.
No, you don't understand, Wasim, because you are easily one of the most narcissistic people I've ever spoken to.
Right. You're narcissistic, mate. Though you don't know
you don't know what narcissistic means. It's not what you think. Go and look it up afterwards.
I could say you're an autodidact. So
you can say I'm an old drug addict. Yeah, you can. That's a fact. Yeah. Okay.
No, I didn't say drug. I said autodidact.
I'm an autodidact. Brilliant. Okay. Well, I don't know what that means. So
self-taught.
Okay, self-taught.
You mean your self-taught?
Okay.
Hi, Cass, by the way. I hope you're good.
Shut up, Wasim, and focus. Address the point that I've asked you 4 times now. Address it. What was it?
I bet everyone's swearing at me online now. It's probably because I'm Asian anyway, so...
No, it's not, Wasim. Don't even begin that, because that is nonsense.
Some people do, mate.
That is, yeah, racists do, mate, racists. But we tend not to attract a lot of racists to this show.
People on YouTube...
Wasim, focus on the point. Address the point I've asked you at least 4 times now. What was it?
Yes, I have addressed it.
You haven't addressed it.
What do you want me to say?
Okay, so you are accepting that some of the things you say are hurtful?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes, I accept it.
And
they're perceived as being hurtful.
No, they're not. They're not perceived as being hurtful. That's not what the perception... When I used the word perceived, it wasn't about that. Some of the things you say are hurtful. They cause hurt and they cause upset.
I feel the same way about some of the things you say.
Wasim, we're going in circles, mate. It's really boring. Can I make a request? Just stop listening. Stop listening, because you're one of the most boring, dullest arseholes I've ever spoken to. I don't like you. I think you've got a very dark personality. I don't like your calls. I don't like your emails. I don't like you. I don't want you in my life. He's put the phone down. Thank Christ for that. Let's go to the break.
Neon lit night talk for torch singers, trolley dollies, and train wrecks like me. Never know just where the conversation will take you.
What I'm going to say sounds ridiculous.
The Late Night Alternative with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Man, I'm having fun tonight. I remember why we stopped taking callers. I think we won't hear from him for a couple of months now, but there'll be emails and tweets and things. Or he just have the last word and then puts the phone down. Hit and run, we used to call him in the olden days. Let's go to... by the way, Paul Ross will be on in a few minutes. Paul Ross is on at 1 o'clock, taking you through the night, and it's a cracking little show, full of guests and chat and what have you. Good evening, Robert!
Who's he got on tonight as a guest?
I don't know. We'll find out in a bit. He'll come in and tell us.
That's not much of a plug. You're supposed to do like the Steve Wright thing and say like...
If you notice this station, most people don't plug other shows, so the very fact that we're mentioning him is something. That's some bonus. You know, when I was in the jungle, right? When I was in the jungle, right?
Yes,
yeah, I was. Or every show plugged it, and every show plugged me, right? Except for Julia Hartley-Brewer. She refused... Is that right? That's right, isn't it? She refused to mention me, refused to play any trails for me, refused to mention it at all. Julia Hartley-Brewer. Imagine! And you know why? Because she wanted to be in the jungle and she didn't get the thumbs up. She wasn't allowed to go.
Do you think there's a sexual tension between you two?
God, I hope not! There's a sexual wilting. Anyway, Rob, it's always great to talk to you, mate. We speak to each other about once every 9 months. What have you got for us tonight?
2 quickies, right? One,
yes.
If I did a donation to a charity, you know, on your Twitter, would you put, like, for press statements or something like that, maybe Vinny or Caddick's address for email, just for 24 hours?
Hang on, whose address do you want on Twitter for... What?
You know, like, on your Twitter, where it says, like, work and it's got your agent.
Oh, yeah.
You could put in there for press statements. You could make someone up if you wanted that. Funny. But imagine if you put Vinny's handle on Twitter just for 24 hours.
Oh, God, that would be awful. Do you know, I've muted Vinny, and I'd forgotten I muted him, because he spouts a load of old rubbish. I muted him about a year ago, and then someone was talking to him, and I thought, let's go and see what Vinny's... Oh, it's a load of old rubbish, yes, I remember, yes.
He still at it?
Yeah, he's still at it. Bless him. He called us at the Rabbit Hole, didn't he, on Sunday, yeah.
Loves it. Yeah, loves it.
Loves it.
He still occasionally pops up, says something like really offensive, then just disappears. It's like, right, cheers, that him.
Yeah, it's because his mum's take his phone off him.
Even Kath's trolling him.
I say his phone, her phone, back.
Exactly.
Okay. The other one, and this was my mum's idea.
Yes, mate.
Should we start an Iain Lee for Strictly campaign?
Oh, yes!
She thinks you've got quite cute, anyway.
Oh.
But
how's your mum these
they
days?
always have a tall... Well, you want me.
Okay.
But she said, and this was quite good, she says they always have a tall fella, don't they?
Yeah. Hang on, can you just wait there? Can you just wait there 1 second? Hang on. Yes, Wasim?
Iain, I want to just say, there's going to be no more emails from me from now on.
Wasim, why do you always have to get the last word?
Because I have to, mate. That's it about the last word, bye.
What a dick. What a dickhead. I knew he'd get in touch. I didn't think it'd be that quick. I didn't think it'd be 3 minutes later. Right, Robert, be quick, 'cause I'm going to cut you off now.
All right.
It's a good one, that, wasn't it?
Yeah, thanks for that.
I used to use that on my sister when we were 12.
George!
Hello.
What a beautiful way to end what has been a very, very dark show this evening.
Yeah, well, let's brighten it up a bit.
Yes. Bring me sunshine in your smile. It's a good song, isn't it?
I want you to play the starring role in a film.
Oh.
It's called Scoring Goals, and it's going to be a brilliant film. And I really think that you're destined to play the starring role. You know, I used to call Peter Cook the Wizard.
Yeah.
That was my name for Peter.
Yeah.
And he had the What Party, so he was the Wizard of What.
Yeah.
But I want you to play the part of the Wizard of Wonders.
Well, listen, we're at the end of the show, George, and to even be said and it was the same sentence as Peter Cook. There was no full stop. To even be mentioned in the same sentence, honestly, that melts my heart. George, speak to my agent. I'm sure we can work out a very reasonable rate. George, lovely to end the show with you, mate. We'll speak longer tomorrow.
Lovely.
Take care. Thank you. There we go, George. There. That's it. What a show. What a vibe. What a scene. What an atmosphere. I love a party with a happy atmosphere. It's been so strange tonight. Hearing a professional professional in inverted commas, talk radio lose it on air. Priceless. Hearing a professional talk radio lose it on air. I tell you what, we'll send that one off to the laboratory, Ultimate, on Twitter, and we'll get the results on that back, and I'll react to that tomorrow when it's been run through the Babelfish. Okay, thank you, Catherine.
You're welcome.
I will be on the Isle of Wight tomorrow. Oh! Apparently it's going to chuck it down.
Coming back, though, aren't you?
Who knows? I might fall in love. I'm looking for somewhere to live. I might end up there.
Bit of a commute, though.
It is a little bit. That is it for us tonight, dear listener. We'll be back tonight at 10. As long as I don't get my ferry doesn't sink. Paul Ross is coming up next at 1 o'clock. Until then, from us, ta-ta!